has 50 years experience servicing Rolex and all brands of watches. Diamond Gems Jewelry in Uptown Phoenix and on the West Side too. Search Diamond Gems Phoenix or call 602-466-1772. Buy, sell, trade, or service. Diamond Gems, Arizona's most huggable jeweler.
Remember when you could go to the doctor and actually leave feeling better? Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Katz. The problem with our healthcare system is the focus on the system and not on your healthcare. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum healthcare using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men and women's health. We help people find relief when other doctors have failed. Our naturopathic doctors can restore your pain-free life using cutting-edge regenerative treatments. We can also help restore balance to your immune, digestive, and hormonal systems. Addressing your cause can also improve both mental and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working for you, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call us. We're the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, Arizona at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161 or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Are you looking to retire in the next 10 years, but you're only a year or two into a 30-year mortgage? Turns out large mortgage payments on fixed income can be extremely challenging, if not impossible. Well, Life Changer Loan is your solution, where you can pay off your mortgage in well under 10 years without changing a dime of spending habit. Plus, you can keep access to your equity while enjoying your golden years. It's not magic, it's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MD1002031, NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the Evan-On, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day. No, we're not getting fired. That usually happens on the holidays. Today is the day we do Keon Rose's college football bowl party. That's right. We're going to talk about every single one of the bowl games that are going to happen this year for college football. And let me tell you, it's more than a few. I got 6 damn pages of bowl games right here. And they're not like teeny typed. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of damn bowl games. Too many bowl games. Now, people who love bowl games will say, not enough bowl games. And then other people will say, God damn, there's too many bowl games. So where are we in reality when it comes to bowl games? You know what I'm saying? What would be a comfortable number of bowl games where it ain't so damn ridiculous?
I mean, if we limited the bowl games to, at the very least, the teams that finished with above a 500 record, I think you'd end up with an amount of bowl games that people would find acceptable.
What is that number? How many is that?
Hard to say, but there's so many teams that are 500 or below.
I feel like we'd only lose one page off the bowl game
maybe
list.
one page, but that's a lot. That is a lot fewer bowl games.
I feel like these bowl games should be special matchups, either rivalries or somebody who has won more than half their games, 500. Come on, aim high, Keon.
I would agree with you 110%, Jeffrey. I think bowl games should matter for something, not just some sort of a exhibition game played after the college football season is done, like the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl or the Nassau Bahamas Bowl or, things like that. I think that there should be a reason to play a bowl game. There should be, I don't know. There should be a reason for it. Like it means something.
Yeah. And I don't know what that means, but it got to mean something as far as quality, got to mean something as far as interest. If you want me to get into these games, you can't just be giving me Arizona versus somebody. By the way, are those chuckleheads in any bowl games this year?
No.
Because I know we're not.
No.
So at least that's we got that going for us. So we're going to do Keon Rose's college football bowl game dance thing. I don't know what the hell we're calling it. Anyway, before we do that, speaking of Arizona, the news came out today that Sean Miller, old sweaty Sean Miller, free from sanctions. That's right. He'll have no sanctions according to the IARP. And this is
that was the AARP.
No. This is the IARP,
the Association of Retired People are not
really sweaty coaches.
Yeah.
So, old friend of ours on the Twitter there says, "See, this is why we don't jump to conclusions." Like, he's innocent, right? He's innocent. Let me explain to you here. He's not innocent. You know that whole thing where they say not guilty. It doesn't mean you're innocent. That just means you're not going to be going to jail for it. Here's the line that stuck out to me in this long awaited report. The panel also applied significant weight to Arizona's self-imposed penalties, especially the 2021 postseason competition ban for its men's basketball program. So because they fell on their little sword there, and it wasn't much of one, sweaty Sean Miller gets to go scot-free, although his ex-assistants, some of them are out of the game for 10 years. That's as, I guess, as close as you get to a lifetime ban. But they say that, again, because of all the self-imposed actions, what's getting done now is this is all just being washed away.
Basically, and this is how it's always worked. If you realize you've done something wrong and you realize your hand is caught firmly in the cookie jar, then what you do to get away with it is slap yourself on the wrist, which is just ridiculous because the punishment that you give yourself is never going to be as harsh as the punishment that they were going to give you if you let it get that far. And so the fact that he is getting away with this, to me, reads wrong, because it's one thing to let the school off scot-free, but he didn't get punished, and he's still not going to face the music. No. And for people saying,
let his boys all go down for it too.
Yeah, which is just scummy in the worst way, because those guys had careers that they were hoping to try and build up, and a lot of them were probably doing what they were told. And so here they are now, the people who actually don't have the responsibility to oversee the entire program are the people who are going to take most of the heat. Meanwhile, Sean Miller gets to walk off and act like he's innocent when he isn't. He is recorded on the phone saying he made a strong offer to a kid. What do you? We're not jumping
a strong
to conclusions.
Offer, a good parking spot. Come on, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, man. There was the HBO Sports did a documentary on it, and they have the phone recordings. It's pretty damning stuff.
Which, by the way, you bring up a good point. There has been so much time between the sweaty Sean scandal and this moment that they had time to make documentaries about it. They're old. You know what I'm saying? It took way too long to come around to this. This is why you look over what happened with ASU versus what happened with Arizona. ASU, old Herm Edwards was entertaining guests during COVID when you weren't allowed to. That was the worst of his thing. He wasn't writing checks to people and handing McDonald's bags full of money to anybody, is he? No. So what happened with ASU, far less significant than what happened with the money and Book Richardson and all that stuff. So I fully expect ASU should just go walk scot-free. They should just go ahead and clear the books now for that. If this is what you're going to do with Sean Miller, who has a recording talking about giving somebody money, you have other guys who were arrested, 9 people arrested for this. One of them did time in this whole situation. And this is the worst thing that happens. well, they should send ASU like a fruit basket and say, okay, we're good, because that's bull crap.
I agree, but I bet you they're not going to do it because ASU didn't have the wherewithal to do what Arizona did, which is to slap themselves on the wrist, not as hard as they should have been.
Why aren't we slapping? Slap.
I don't know. They should, the moment that this is
before we have a good team.
Every single time I have said this, the moment that they realized Herm was caught in that, they should have immediately jumped to, we're banning ourselves for X, Y, and Z. We're taking away our own, ability to give out recruitment. We're going to take ourselves out of postseason play. All of that stuff. The moment you detected that was on the radar, because they do give teams more lenient punishments for that. They do.
See, I think that comes down to the athletic director and the president. And I think Michael Crow and what's his name? Ray Anderson. Both those guys are culpable in this situation. They didn't do a damn thing when when they were caught in this scandal. They didn't do anything. Now, okay, Herm is no longer with the team. The team has not been overachieving. The team is not a national championship contender. The team is not even going to a bowl game this year. So maybe the NCAA will look at this and say, they've been punished enough. The head coach is no longer there. Most of the assistant coach is gone. But Ray Anderson is still there in power. And so is Dr. Michael Crow. So maybe they will have some leniency on us. Maybe they won't. It comes down to the athletic director and the president.
So if you have a Arizona friend who's like, see, everything is great, you just tell them to shut the bleep up.
I mean, it's the only thing you can say, because Sean Miller's not innocent of anything.
No,
he was simply not punished, which is not the same thing. And part of it is this stupid thing that the NCAA has basically allowed to be a precedent. You would never allow your kid to ground themselves in an attempt to get away from harsher punishment. Hey, Dad, I'm going to give you my phone so I can keep playing the video game. Like, that's not how punishment is supposed to work. And so the NCAA has always had this broken system built into itself. I mean, and if it's one thing, again, if the school was able to say we punished ourselves and we can move on, but Sean Miller is an individual guy who was in control of a college basketball program, and he's getting to walk scot-free.
By the way, when they did the notice of allegations against Arizona, they said the ultimate responsibility of the integrity of the men's basketball program rests with Sean Miller and his staff's actions, reflecting on Miller as head coach. Originally, they're like, no, this is all on him. Well, the IRP shows up and says, it's not on him. It's all right.
It's so insane.
Come on. It's all right.
If you've ever talked to a college football coach of any level, I mean, D1 through 3, it doesn't matter. These guys are in control of everything. They know everything that's going on. They have to, because their job is on the line. And of course, like they're control freaks. Like, that's the personality that gets drawn to coaching. But seriously.
But keep in mind, though, Sean Miller, no longer there. Herm Edwards, no longer there. The staff for Sean Miller, no longer there. The staff for Herm Edwards, no longer there. I would expect,
if Arizona, I want them punished.
I would expect that we would not see any sort of discipline because the changeover of what's happened, and the kids that were there probably no longer. I mean, this is 3 years.
This has nothing to do with the kids. The kids are, they're not part of this. This is the ring of money laundering that went through here.
3 years in the making for the U of A thing. 2 years so far in the making for the ASU thing. We'll have to wait and see. But I would imagine ASU not going to get slapped with any sort of sanction. Not going to lose any scholarships. We'll have to wait and see.
I hope you're right, Randy.
But if they do, I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Well,
Baker's Cocky Hen says, brilliant idea. Let's have Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury take over ASU. Give Michael Crow and Ray Anderson the Cardinals. Maybe even Lavello could mess up both as a consultant. I don't know how any of that's a brilliant idea, Baker's Cocky Hens, but I like your thinking. It's outside the box.
Yeah.
King Kitten says, Sean Miller is a snitch and he's a dirty rat. Hans Gruber says, snitches get stitches. That's what I'm saying. Navy Devil says, I remember back in the day when 7-5 wasn't even good enough to get in the bowl game. I know, right? You had to be a special kind of team to get a special kind of bowl game. Mr. Pringle says it was a short season for Kyler. Thank you, Pringle. Boogie says it's bowl season. He's very excited. He says no more than 40 bowls. No more than 40. I haven't counted these yet, but I feel like there's too many. Fadi Wampa says everybody should be super excited. It's officially 2 months till Valentine's Day.
Wow.
I mean, it's a good day. I don't know how you skip past Super Bowl to get to Valentine's Day, but
it's not exactly a man holiday, is it? We all got to do what we got to do to survive.
Yeah.
That's all. Every time you're standing there in the grocery store or wherever you go and you're looking for that special card and there's a bunch of dopey guys standing there with you just kind of scratching their head going, what's not going to get me in trouble? Or I don't know what's going to work. What's going to get me?
Or the morning of the 14th, you're over there searching for cards. There's none left. Yeah.
And there's a reason there's certain times of the year you see roses, silk roses at 7-Eleven. Because that's how dumb we are. But okay, I'm glad you're excited for that, Fighting Wampa. 888-368-1580. Well, I don't have much more to say about this bull crap from the IARP on this. It does, I feel like if you've got enough to bust everybody else, you've arrested people, there's been charges, there's been penalties, and even though you said, I'm going to ground myself, but why is Sean Miller completely free of responsibility and sanction? That's the thing that kills me. Sanction. Nothing. He's just off coaching some crap school now, right? Well, I forget where it is. It is some stupid.
Yeah, he's at Xavier, which is their
high school.
No.
Oh,
Xavier University.
Yeah,
are they crap school?
No, they're not. Not at basketball.
Better than Arizona.
Basketball program's pretty good. Yeah.
They're not better than Arizona, but
see, that's even worse.
They're in the NCAA tournament every damn year.
So he gets to go off to a better school, which really, I don't know why I even thought, or any school, but Arizona is a better school. But he gets to go off to a better school. He gets his money, no sanctions, no nothing. He gets to sweat through some Armani shirts while everybody else is left to clean up the mess. Huh. What a dirtbag. But you know what? Arizona gets what Arizona gets, right? 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hen says, take that man card away for celebrating Valentine's Day. Wasn't it a man card violation to be romantic and excited to show the woman you love that you're in love? It's not a normal man thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a violation. Most of us are just, doing what we have to do to survive. I don't know anywhere other way to describe this.
Yeah.
Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I like Valentine's Day and watching Hallmark Channel movies with my wife. Nothing better than that. Here's the thing about George. The man card violation comes from he was watching that garbage when he was single.
Yeah.
And I got the text messages to prove it. And he was like, oh, I love the Santa Claus Hallmark movies. Oh, you got to tell it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you big softy. Cardinal Art says, I was thinking we swap Irsay for Bidwell. What is nobody's swapping anything?
Can't trade owners. How does that work?
Let's hear it out. Irsay for a Bidwell. Go ahead.
And Kime for the rest of the season, and we all get our wish. Jeffrey, Randy, pour me up 2, 1 for me and 1 for my little bro Patio.
My little bro. How old is Patio?
That's a good question. You should have asked that before you poured it. That's going to get us in trouble.
That's one for him. But
how old is your little bro, Cardinal Art? We probably should know that.
Yeah. See, within drinking age?
Is he what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's got to be 21 or older.
Yeah.
Ken Kitten says, Valentine's Day is my cat's birthday. She's going to be 18. Guess what her name is?
Valentine.
Don't like cats. I
love him.
I do like cats, but
Little Heart.
I don't know why.
Free Cat.
Yeah.
I thought all cats were named Free Cat. It's on the box. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hardly ever see free puppies, do you? It's always free cats.
Yeah. Well,
puppies cost you like hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Cardinal Art says 32 years old. No minors allowed here in the boys club.
There you go.
Hefty Lefty says, I don't mind Valentine's Day. Usually consists of a really nice dinner and some naked playtime.
So
and so then when you go home with your wife, what do you do?
More than 4 hours.
Oh my God.
We should probably take a break. We should take a break, and we should do. Are we excited about this?
Yes. Yeah, this bowl season. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
I didn't know if we were excited about this.
Yeah, let's go.
It'll be time for Keon Rose's college football bowl dance party.
Yeah.
Party.
Keon Rose's dance party, college football dance party, bowl edition.
There it is.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, all right, let's go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Bowl season underway Friday with the Bahamas Bowl kicking things off. Miami of Ohio, an 11-point underdog against UAB. That'll be followed by Texas San Antonio playing as a 2-point underdog against Troy in the Cure Bowl. College football playoff on New Year's Eve. Number 2, Michigan -7.5 against third-ranked TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. And fourth-ranked Ohio State +6.5 against top-ranked Georgia in the Peach Bowl. Argentina has reached the World Cup final. They await the winner of France and Morocco this afternoon. The French, the -190 moneyline favorite. Morocco +600 with a draw at +280. The over-under at 2.5 goals. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 2022 World Soccer Championship in Qatar, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. The French endeavor to repeat will go all the way to the World Cup final. Theo Hernandez opened the scoring in the 5th minute for France. Rondal Kolo Muani added another with his first touch as a sub in the 79th minute. And for all the talk of Giroud, Mbappe, and Griezmann, the goals come from 2 Frenchmen who had scored just 1 international goal when the day had begun. France 2, Morocco 0. France has a losing all-time record against just 8 current FIFA members. One of them is Argentina, who hold a 6-3-3 mark against Les Bleus. Their first meeting, the first World Cup in 1930. France knocked out Argentina in a 4-3 stunner in Russia just 4 years ago. Now they meet in the final on Sunday, while Morocco will play Croatia Saturday in the 3rd place game. I'm Mike Watts, Westwood One Sports.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.com.
We're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you hear Jacobs and Helly?
Tiger goes out there and he basically says that Greg Norman needs to go, and then gave an update on his health. Here comes the idiot, Ashley Perez. Quote, literally why driving under the influence is illegal. Thank God he didn't kill anyone. See, I will challenge Pat Perez and his mouthy, imbecile wife. If my guy loses, I'll retire. He loses, he retires.
Jacobs and Helly, weekday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hey, Randy, we got to pour thunder snow at Jameson's stat. He says, rough day, gentlemen. Hey, let's get that man some whiskey right there.
You go.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Jagdog says, so the Sean Miller thing comparable to O.J. Simpson, right? Both innocent in a court of law. Something very wrong with the court systems then, right? Well, I think not guilty is not the same as innocent. O.J. was not declared innocent. Neither was Sean Miller. The not guilty thing kind of applies more.
And that's not a break in the system. That's to protect people who might not have enough to prove their innocence, but shouldn't
the break in the
necessarily
system for O.J. was the jury. Bunch of dip bleeps. Straight Striper says, not sure if it was discussed yet, but David Blau may be the new quarterback for the Cardinals. Who is he, and what were they thinking? It's just a guy who's coming to be a backup to the backup.
He was on the Lions before the season. The Lions cut him.
Vikings, wasn't the Vikings?
He ended up on the Vikings, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was this year, but
Colt McCoy will be your starting quarterback. The end. Who cares about David Plow or what the hell's his name? Who cares?
David Blau, I think.
He'll be number 3. Trace McSorley will be number 2. And Colt McCoy is the name of the guy leading the Redbirds to victory in the next several games.
Victory. Right. Watermelon says, Jeffrey, they let Sean Miller walk because they all do it. He just got caught and it was leaked. Something had to happen to show some sort of disciplinary action. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that, Watermelon. Not feeling that at all.
Didn't Louisville and LSU and somebody else get hand slaps a little more rigorous than the U of A?
Yeah, LSU got hit a little bit harder, even though their coach was involved in the same scandal, the same documentary with Sean Miller and everything. But I do think that their coach at the time, a little bit more brazen about it, a little bit more explicit. But I also think that LSU didn't necessarily take the same steps to punish themselves the same that Arizona did.
All right, King Kittens. No, hey, is he? No, wrong show. Well, you'll have to catch up with him in the morning. All right, time now for Keon Rose's college football dance party bowl edition.
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing off in the Bahamas. Man, I would want to. I'd want to play in that one always, just because it's in the Bahamas. The hell with all the other bowls, but UAB is at Miami, not Miami. Miami, Ohio is a lot like Miami Globe, that little cesspool town that is just outside of like Superior, or is it a Superior Apache Junction? I don't know what the hell it is.
Who the hell knows?
It is a gross little place. The armpit of America is Globe, Miami, but that's not where these guys are from. It's Miami, Ohio. So the Bahama Bowl, Keon. Doesn't matter. Why care?
Does it matter? Well,
I should probably stop
if you followed my advice and eliminated all the teams that were not above 500, that this bowl game wouldn't exist. So I don't know if that answers your question at all. But I do like UAB. I do like their program. A few years ago, their program literally died. Just completely, the football program was removed, and the fans, the community rallied around that school, fought really hard, got the football program back, and so it's really just good to see UAB kind of back on their feet. And I think that they're the way they ended the season, I think that there's enough there to suggest that the UAB kind of on a roll right now. I know that they're in a transitional space. Their coach is moving on, so they're gonna have to figure out who's going to coach UAB moving on into the future. But I think that emotionally, I think these guys are going to rally around their coach, rally around this program, even though the future looks really uncertain. Give me the Blazers.
All right, so you're picking UAB, and again, that's 11:30 a.m. on December 16th, Randy.
Yes, the Blazers looks like a dragon head to me. I just want to go ahead and say that.
I thought it was like a Chevy Blazer.
No, it looks like a dragon head spitting fire.
Like
I would call them the dragons.
Now I really don't care about it.
Anyway, next bowl up, the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl, University of Texas, San Antonio, otherwise known as UTSA.
Versus, the Cure Bowl?
Yeah, the Duluth Trading
Are they going to play a bunch of Cure music?
Cure
Bowl.
Bowl.
The hell out of everyone?
At Exploria Stadium in Orlando, Florida. I think that's a high school stadium, by the way. UTSA at Troy. Who do you got in this one, Keon?
I'm going to go with the UTSA, and not just because my brother goes there to the University of Texas.
Oh,
San
no kidding.
Antonio. Yeah.
All right.
But because
how many brothers do you have, Keon?
2. 2. One lives with me, and the other one lives in San Antonio. Well, he moved to Austin. But anyway, so the thing with UTSA that I love about this team is that they will play anybody, anywhere. They started the season. They played Houston. They didn't win that game, but they went to overtime, triple overtime. In fact, they got whacked by the Texas Longhorns in week 3. Those are their only 2 losses. They beat everybody else on that damn schedule. And you gotta give them a lot of credit for being willing to play teams that, quite frankly, they have no business playing and no business thinking that they should beat, and pushing a lot of these teams to the brink. And then when they play teams that are more on their level, that offense is elite. They go through everybody. Their quarterback, Frank Harris, he's been awesome. He's been phenomenal. He makes NFL caliber throws. And that's one of the things that's very impressive about him and this team. Give me the Roadrunners.
Jeffrey, the Utsa Roadrunners, they're 11-2. So is the Troy Trojans. Troy Trojans, they're also 11-2. Jeff, go.
I have no idea how Louisville and Cincinnati are ranked because I generally don't care. But the Fenway Bowl is in Boston. Is that at Fenway Park? Is that where they're going to tear up the field for that?
They are going to put a football field on that baseball diamond and play the bowl game.
So December 17th in the morning, you got Louisville versus Cincinnati.
Yeah. And it's an interesting game for a couple of reasons, because both of these teams are in a really, really odd spot. It's kind of awkward. Luke Fickell was the head coach of Cincinnati.
Fickell is Einhorn. Einhorn is Fickell.
I don't know that reference at all.
Yes.
But Luke Fickell's going to Wisconsin. That's where he took the job over there. And they hired the Louisville head coach, Jeff Satterfield, at Cincinnati to replace him. So now Louisville doesn't have their original head coach. Neither does Cincinnati. And Jeff Satterfield can't necessarily coach Cincinnati until after this bowl game for many obvious reasons. So this one's kind of tough to me because I thought it could be kind of a trap game, but then I realized that both teams are losing their head coaches. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I just really like the way that they play defense. They have a top 25 defense in the country. I think against the pass, they're ranked 23rd. And that is good news for them. And they're trying to end their time in their conference on a high note as they transition to being in the Big 12, being a Power 5 college football team. I'm going to go Cincinnati, taking the Bearcats.
Probably the last bowl game they'll ever be in, right, Jeffco?
I'd say so, yes.
I don't know about that. Oklahoma and Texas are leaving. There's a door open there for them.
Yes. All right, moving on to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta for the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
That's not next on the list. The next on the list is December 17th, New Mexico Bowl. Are you not using the list I gave you?
Well, I'm using the one on the ESPN.com.
That's not the list I gave you.
ESPN.com Cricket Celebration Bowl, Jackson State.
What date is that?
It's 17th at high noon.
What?
Yeah.
That's not even on my list.
The Cricket Celebration Bowl, Jackson State versus North Carolina Central from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. How big is Jackson State going to beat the hell out of North Carolina Central by?
I would say a decent amount. I do, and it's not because look, there are going to be a lot of those guys, names in transfer portal, not going to be able to contribute for Jackson State. But what people don't realize about Jackson State was before Deion got there, that whole community was about Jackson State. They already sold out games before Deion got there. They were already doing pretty decently. But then Deion obviously came and took them to a completely different level. And I do believe that Jackson State is going to obviously rally around the loss of Deion. That him leaving them is something that can galvanize a locker room. And they've got really good players. They've had really good players. And with all due respect to North Carolina Central, Jackson State's got the edge in this one, in my opinion. I'm going to go with them.
All right, Jeffrey, go ahead. Pick it up with the New Mexico Bowl.
No, you're on a completely different list than me, so I'm going to let you take it from here.
No, pick it up with New Mexico.
I don't know where we're at.
And Albuquerque. Go ahead. Pick it up with Albuquerque.
In fact, this Jackson State thing, I don't even see it on the list. What was the name of that bowl?
It was, I don't know. I turned off ESPN.
I must have lost track of some bowls. I thought I had them all.
I don't even have it on I have the CBS stuff up. I don't even have it here, so I don't.
ESPN. But, come on, I'm on your list now. It's the New Mexico.
Okay, so
Bowl.
the Mormons taking on the SMU. It's the New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque at 2:15 p.m. on December 17th. Keon, you got the Mormons or you got the SMU?
It's tough because the Mormons have been good the last few years, and Kalani Sitake, I mean, he's proved to be, I think, one heck of a football coach, and when he's got talent, that they can compete for a college football playoff spot. I mean, that's the kind of team that they are. They don't have the talent this year that they did a year ago, but to be fair, neither does SMU, and SMU also doesn't have Sonny Dykes and that insane offense that they've had for years and years, because he's at TCU now in the college football playoff. So I'm going to go with the Mormons on this one. I really just think that Sitake is a really good coach, and he's had the stability there to build his program the way that he wants to. They play tough defense, they run the ball, they grind it out, and that kind of football does translate really well to some of these bowl matchups where teams are not that familiar with each other.
All right, Randy, you can do the used to be funny bowl. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
Okay, let's check. Let's go to Los Angeles, California, to Inglewood, the site of the national championship, the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. Washington State Cougars.
Oh, God, that is not what a Cougar sounds like.
Versus the Fresno State Bulldogs. Cougars, Bulldogs. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs. It's not that the Cougars haven't been impressive this year at times. They have. But Fresno State started the season 1-4 and then really turned things around. They're 9-4. So, I mean, obviously ripped off 8 games in a row to really make something of their season. And I love the way when those guys play together. I mean, you can tell that there's love in that locker room, they're a brotherhood, and that kind of thing. When I see that, that tells me the direction that a team is going. And I think that Fresno State continues to move in the right direction. I think they're one of these schools that, as the Pac-12 has to figure out what direction they're moving in, maybe take a look at Fresno State and what they're building over there. So anyway, Fresno State, the 8 wins in a row, how impressive they've been when they could have folded on the season, when they could have given up. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs.
I think Baker Cocky Hens, he says, you should call them Latter-day Taints, Jeffrey. I'm sorry, my glasses. Latter-day Saints. No, just Mormons is quicker and easier. It's not like a bad word. I got a lot of Mormon friends. They don't care if you say Mormon. I mean, it's not a slur or nothing. Come on, man. So wait, is it my turn?
Yes. Moving on to Mobile, Alabama.
Yes. Lending Tree. They have a bowl.
They do.
And you got Southern Miss versus Rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I look, yes, I understand that. Yeah, you win. If you win 5 games, you are technically bowl eligible, but they're one of those teams where I'm like, man, why is Rice here? They got whooped by everybody, man. they lost a lot of games.
Rice.
Real bad.
They got steamed by everyone.
They got fried.
Look, I understand that Southern Miss at 6-6 is not infinitely better, but I do think that they looked at some of the teams on their schedule and really tried to play some difficult games. They did get punched in the face by Miami, but I mean, they tried. They tried to go out there and play a tough game against Liberty. They tried to go out there and play some of these tougher schools. So I'm going to give them credit for that. Rice is not good. I'm going to go Southern Miss, and of course Southern Miss also has the advantage of being in the South and getting all of the sort of scraps that the SEC doesn't want. But those guys are still talented football players in their own right too. I'm going with the Southern Miss Eagles.
Jeffco, we move on to Lost Wages, Las Vegas, Nevada. Is it at the Death Star? It's not at the university, right? This is at the Death Star.
I thought you were asking me where Las Vegas was.
No, the bowl game itself.
The bowl game itself is at the Death Star.
Another December 17th bowl game, the Las Vegas Bowl, Florida versus the Oregon State Beavers.
You don't you dare do that. You know better. You don't say Oregon. It's Oregon. Just Oregon. It's never Oregon. If Florida from Oregon will punch you right in the Ginobili's.
Oregon State Beavers. Las Vegas. Okay.
It's Oregon.
Not my Oregon, your Oregon. I mean, we're full of puns today.
No, this wee crap, man.
Go ahead, Keon. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, I think it should be kind of clear. Florida 6-6. They're in this bowl game against Oregon State because they're an SEC school, and that's pretty much the long and short of it. Florida was very inconsistent this year. They were up and down. And by the way, that was with the guy that they wanted to be their quarterback. They don't even have that right now. I think that they're going to go with the sophomore Jack Miller III, who I like a little bit, but I mean, they're going to throw this guy to the wolves against an Oregon State team and an Oregon State defense that has been rock solid all year long. I just don't understand this particular matchup. Oregon State, I think, is a much better football team than what Florida has right now. I think another year of Billy Napier and Florida will be the Florida we remember, but they're not there at this particular moment in time. Oregon State is. They were competitive all year long in a Pac-12 that was pretty damn good. So I'm going with the Beavers.
All right. Well, I want you guys to understand something. You need to learn something. Okay. I'm about to spit knowledge on you.
Yeah, and flow a little knowledge on us, like
Frisco.
Drano. Yeah.
The Frisco Bowl.
Yeah.
Not in San Francisco.
No.
It's in Frisco, Texas.
Yes.
A town I've never heard of.
I've driven by this facility.
What is in Frisco, Texas?
Absolutely nothing but a stadium. Jerry's practice field for the Cowboys. That's what Frisco is. Yeah.
That's mostly it. That, and I think that they have an indoor arena football team. I've seen.
So this is indoors.
No.
Well, you can't play outdoors if you're an indoor football team. Don't be a child.
No, I'm saying that's how
It's a complex sports complex.
I'm sure it's a very complex situation, but we need to know what happens between North Texas and Boise State at the Frisco Bowl.
Yeah. Look, I just think that Boise State has been playing incredible football throughout the season, and it's not that North Texas hasn't been good, and North Texas has overcome some challenges throughout the season. But when I look at what Boise State brings on the defensive side of the football, that they're 6th in the country on defense, that they were 8-0 in their division in the Mountain West, which is not a slouch division of football, slouch conference of football. They just played tougher games, and they've had to really grit out some games. Their defense, by the way, doesn't just stop people. Their defense scores. So I'm leaning towards the Boise State Broncos against North Texas.
But can they play football on turf that's green instead of blue?
I think they can, because they've had to.
Guys, we may have a logistics problem here. Okay. I just realized something.
Yeah.
That whole segment right there, that was 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked at. We have like 36 more.
I did try to tell you before the show that
this is not going to get done today. I don't know how we're going to do this.
You were like 2 segments, and I was like,
I
okay,
thought for sure. Bam, bam, bam. You'd be like Frisco Bowl, Boise, Las Vegas.
I mean, if you want me to just go down and name the team, then I can do that, and we can go a whole lot faster. I just thought it'd be more interesting if I explained.
I feel like maybe we could meet halfway.
Okay.
Shorten the analysis, but we'll still get some. How's that?
That works for me. That works.
I really don't think we're gonna make it.
You're like 2 segments easy. I was like, I don't know about.
We may have to do a couple. Half of this today, half of this on Friday, maybe. Just saying,
it's possible.
We're getting into the fun ones now.
Well, see now that this is not my fault. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Remember, your local pharmacy may be a convenient place to get your family's vaccines and boosters. While you're there, talk to your pharmacist about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA, brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hi, Shane O'Grady here with Life Changer Loan. And you know what the number one question people ask us is? Why isn't everyone doing this? That's kind of what we were thinking. I know this loan isn't for everyone, but I guarantee it's for everyone that qualifies. Fact. If you have great credit and are good with your money, and you're currently in a fixed rate traditional loan, I guarantee you're in the wrong loan. It's not magic. It's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MD1002031 NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from The Main Event, here to tell you about Access Property Advisors. When I need to buy or sell properties or get them rented out, Access Property Advisors gets me the best sales price or lease terms to make my rental properties profitable. Jason Sellers has an impressive team of professionals at Access Property Advisors, experts in just about anything you can need with real estate. So whether you want to find the home of your dreams, sell your home, or manage your rental property, do what I do and give Access Access Property Advisors a call at 602-614-5590. That's 602-614-5590 or visit accesspropertyadvisors.com.
I've been holiday shopping at Kohl's, and I've got to admit, their deals are some of the best I've seen. I've been earning Kohl's Cash every day while saving an extra 25% on top of 50% off cute PJs and 40% off comfy slippers. Plus, I just got 30% off super soft Kookaburra by UGG bedding. With more gifts and more savings at Kohl's, the holidays just got so much cozier. Select styles. Offers end December 18th. Kookaburra by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmvdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmvdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is Brad Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We're having Keon Rose's college football dance party bowl edition. And it has quickly come to our attention that there's just too many damn bowl games. There's no way we're going to get them all done today. So we're only going to do the bowl games up till December 24th. And then on other days, we will complete the rest of the list. But I mean, this just it illustrates very clearly too many damn bowl games. Too many.
Like you said, I don't think you're wrong. I will watch as many of them as humanly possible. I'm part of the problem.
Boogie's saying, can we make a 1580 The Fanatic Bowl? What we do is we invite the two teams with the most unnecessary roughness and roughing the passer penalties that aren't in bowl games. Winner gets to use Bruce Jacobs as a tackling dummy, and loser has to face Dale.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
I don't know if Bruce is going to go with that, but I liked your idea right up until, trying to kill a morning show. Yeah, I'm just saying, good idea. Let's workshop that. 888-368-1580. All right, so let's try to get through these next 8 games. Myrtle Beach Bowl, which, by the way, is not at Myrtle Beach. It's in a place called Conway, South Carolina.
Yes.
So that's awkward. It's Marshall versus Yukon. Keon. No relation. So Marshall versus Yukon. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, this is another game where I see the two teams matched up, and I'm trying to figure out how on earth this matchup got made. Yukon has been bad at football for so long. I can't even recall. This is actually one of their better seasons that they're having. Meanwhile, Marshall, they're only just the 10th ranked defense in the nation. Just without their offense being involved at all, Marshall is a better team than Yukon is. And then you add the offense and the fact that they can actually score. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Thundering Herd.
Okay, Randy, you're left with the famous one.
Well, it's famous because it's a potato, and it's in Idaho. It's in Boise, Idaho. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. San Jose State versus Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at these two schools, I actually kind of struggle a little bit to come down on one side or the other, because this actually is a pretty good matchup.
It's famous. So
well, that's true. I think they actually did put two good teams together for this particular bowl game. You can also tell which bowl games they care about, which ones they don't. Anyway, before I ramble on too much, I like San Jose State. I've liked them all year long. I think that the reason why they've been able to end up at 7-4 is just a lot of consistency. Never get too high, they never get too low. Take the Spartans.
Jeffrey, do you know the way to San Jose?
No. Well, I mean, I could Google it. Just Google it. I trust the Google all the time.
You have to get there via Boca Raton.
Well, Boca Raton, I believe, is in Florida, so I don't think that's going to get me to San Jose. But Toledo is playing Liberty. Where's Liberty from, by the way? Because I feel like I should root for Liberty, Justice, and the American Way over Toledo.
I know the school is in the South. I don't know exactly where.
More importantly, is Morehead State in the bowl game, says Mr. Pringle. That's a good question, because I would definitely root for Morehead. I mean, I think we all would.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't really? Yeah, Liberty, Toledo, another evenly matched kind of game. Toledo's 8-5, Liberty's 8-4. But Liberty's just been scrappy. That's the thing that I like about them a lot. And obviously, I don't know how much of that identity they're going to hold on to with Hugh Freeze moving on from that university. But I do think that the guys that are there right now, that's how they play. That's what that locker room is about. And I don't think that they back down from anybody. And as good as this Toledo team is and can be, the fact is that Liberty goes out there. And if the game ends up close, if the game ends up being a dogfight of any variety, Liberty finds a way to make it happen. So I'm going to take the Liberty Flames.
Liberty
now,
is in
the whole state.
Liberty is in Lynchburg, Virginia, by the way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Birthplace of Liberty.
Let's see. We move from Boca Raton to New Orleans, the New Orleans Bowl, where Western Kentucky will take on South Alabama.
Ooh, they should call it the Directions Bowl. Western, Southern. Okay, maybe I'll just sit here. Just be quiet.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, and there have been sillier bowl names for sillier reasons than that. So honestly, who can really blame you? But South Alabama's been awesome this year. 7-1 in the Sun Belt. They have again a top 15 defense, and that's something that you notice with some of these smaller schools when they build their teams. They know that the way to compete, the way to have a consistent program is to build it on the defensive side. And I do look at that kind of thing as an indicator when I'm trying to figure out who to pick. And so I am leaning towards the South Alabama Jaguars in this game, with all due respect to the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
All right, Jeffco. This has implications in our United States Armed Forces.
Yeah, here's the thing about this bowl. Do they automatically let Air Force play in it every year? Because it's an Armed Forces Bowl. Well, is it fair that the Air Force is able to use their arm and the Baylor is not?
Well, that might be a little bit unfair, but I think that since Baylor's coming out of a bigger conference, bigger school, more money, let the Air Force use their arm if Baylor can't use it.
I'm talking arms. I'm talking like guns.
Well,
missiles,
no, definitely can't use the armament in actual football. And I don't think Air Force makes
point of this is it is at a fort, so there's going to be ammunition around.
Yes, but that doesn't mean they're allowed to use it.
Yeah.
And look, I don't think Air Force makes it every year, but I do think one of the armed forces.
Do they deserve to be in a bowl game?
Air Force? Yeah. Air Force is 9-3 this year, man. Like they were good.
Air Force.
Baylor?
Baylor's 6-6. But I will say that Baylor's 6-6 coming out of the Big 12, which is why I will be choosing them in this game. I just think that they have the advantage in talent. And I think that they have the advantage in just, when you look at a lot of the armed forces, again, they end up at that disadvantage because of the restrictions in weight and size that they end up having because they are, in fact, the armed forces. I'm going to lean towards Baylor in this game.
I think Air Force is in this bowl, Jeffrey, because out of all the services academies, Army, Navy, Air Force,
they have the best record.
I think they have the best record of all three. That's why.
Oh, okay. So that seems kind of dumb that, it's always going to be one of them guys.
Yeah. Well, it's called the Armed Forces Bowl.
Yeah, it's rigged.
Anyway, on to Shreveport, Louisiana, to the Independence Bowl on December 23rd. Houston will take on Louisiana. Who you got in this one there, Keon?
Yeah, look, this is another bowl game where Louisiana, because they're 6-6, if you took my advice, that'd be another bowl game that wasn't there. Anyway, but I'm going to go with Houston. I just like what they do offensively. I mean, they put up points. They're a top 20 offense in the country. Dana Holgorsen, we know what he does. I mean, he's one of the guys that has mastered the air raid offense in college football. And it shows when he showed up to Houston.
I wish Kingsbury we did.
I mean, we all. But I think that when Dana Holgorsen showed up, immediately Houston started putting points on the board. Now, they don't really play a lick of defense, but I don't think it's really going to matter against the Raging Cajuns here because I don't think that the Cajuns have necessarily the greatest offense themselves. So I'm going to go with the Cougars of Houston.
Shouldn't Louisiana be in New Orleans Bowl? You see what I'm saying? This is all just
well, no, because there are multiple Louisianas.
No, it's out of control.
I would agree. Out of control.
Yeah. Like this one, the Gasparilla Bowl. The hell's a Gasparilla? In Tampa, Florida. I don't even know what Gasparilla. I know it. I know some Rillas. I know Gorilla. I know Sarsaparilla. But what the hell is a Gasparilla? I have no idea what that is. But Missouri is taking on Wake Forest in the Gasparilla Bowl, December 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Keon, who do you got on that one?
Yeah, I've got Missouri. I like where they are at defensively. I actually thought that they'd be a much better offensive team than defensive team with their head coach, Eli Drinkwitz. But honestly, he's gotten them to be a good defensive team too. So I'm sure that at some point the offense is going to come around. And I just like what they've been able to do in the SEC West. They played very stiff, SEC East, play very stiff competition all year long. And despite the fact that they've been maybe under-talented in that league, the fact that they've been able to come out 500 out of the SEC, that actually says a lot to me. Wake Forest also doesn't play defense, so I'm going to go with the Tigers.
All right, I guess this is going to be it right here for Christmas Eve in Hawaii. That's right, in Honolulu. It's the Hawaii Bowl. Randy?
Well, I was looking up Gasparilla. It's named after the Gasparilla Island there in Florida. Just thought
really dumb.
It's right off the coast of Tampa Bay there.
That is brain-crushingly dumb.
Hawaii Bowl, Mekaleka Hai, Mekahaini Ho, and Meli Kalikimaka to you is what San Diego State and Middle Tennessee State will be saying to each other.
Yeah, probably more so San Diego State than Middle Tennessee, where I almost went to school. And I think that San Diego
you almost went to school at San Diego State?
No, I almost went to school at Middle Tennessee.
I
almost went to school.
Huh.
But San Diego State, I think, has a tremendous defense. Not to sound like a broken record, but again, when you have that at a program like theirs in a conference like the Mountain West or the Sun Belt or something like that, that tells me that you are capable of being consistent, because defense, as they say, it carries in a way that offense doesn't necessarily. Middle Tennessee, they've got a lot of heart, they got a lot of fight, but I'll be 100% honest about where they are. I don't think that they're nearly as talented on either side of the ball as San Diego State is. So I'm going to go with the Aztecs.
All right, so that's all we can do right now. That's all we can do right now. So here's the thing: we're going to have to time these bowl dance parties out correctly. So we did all the ones going into the weekend when the bowls games really start happening on the 17th. We went through all the way to Christmas Eve. So next week we will have a college football dance party on 2 different days. 2 different days to get ready for all the rest of the bowl games. They're going to happen. This
sounds like a plan, Jeffco. Sounds like a plan.
I think next time what we're going to do is just pick good bowl games and talk about those.
It's bowl season.
Yeah. Straight Striper says, would you rather clean the 1580 toilet bowl or discuss 30 bowl games again? We only did 16. There are 26 more to go over here on this stack. Randy came out of nowhere with the bowl game I didn't even know existed. So I'm sure there's even more than this.
Oh, there's even more than what's on the list then.
I think we need to have a meeting and maybe decide the super duper good bowl games. Maybe that's what we'll do. But
I could use a
coming
good
up
nap.
next,
Thank you.
some NFL here on the Daily Blender.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
I've been holiday shopping at Kohl's, and I've got to admit, their deals are some of the best I've seen. I've been earning Kohl's Cash every day while saving an extra 25% on top of 50% off cute PJs and 40% off comfy slippers. Plus, I just got 30% off super soft Kookaburra by UGG bedding. With more gifts and more savings at Kohl's, the holidays just got so much cozier. Select styles. Offers end December 18th. Kookaburra by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Good news for men. Studies are showing certain jewelry can save the day with your sweetie. For example,
You forgot my birthday?
here, this is for you.
Wow. Better late than never.
It even changes their minds.
I'm leaving you.
Here, this is for you.
I'm staying.
But this amazing jewelry can only be found at select jewelers.
Diamond Gems Jewelry, family owned and trusted with expert watch and jewelry repair. Buy, sell, or trade up. Free appraisals. Diamond Gems Jewelry, Arizona's most huggable jeweler, with Uptown Phoenix and West Side locations.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Boogie wants to take another shot at his 1580, the Fanatic Bowl idea.
Okay.
Boogie says, Boogie takes a drink of whiskey, claps his hands, rubs them together. Okay, picture this. 1580 the Fanatic Bowl. We invite two teams with the most unnecessary roughness and roughing the passer penalties. We hold it under the stack downtown. Losers have to get the winning team's mascot tattooed on their lower backs. Ha! I kind of love this idea.
I mean, it's picking up steam in my mind, but the
there's
stack,
just a lot of traffic under the stack.
In the
you know?
stack?
Do you know what the stack is? Do you know what the
I
stack-
don't know what the stack. I was just about to ask.
Yeah, wait a second. When he says the stack, he doesn't mean the Deck Park Tunnel. He means the big squirrely thing with all the
I-10,
the stuff that a lot of people are
I-17.
scared to drive on because if there's ever an earthquake, you're going to plummet to your death.
I-10, I-17 interchange there.
What I love is I probably just said that as somebody's listening, going on the stack.
No, it could be. Could be.
I wasn't worried about it before.
I don't know why there's a cemetery there and there's some warehouses there underneath the stack. I don't understand why we have to play it. Why couldn't we play it at like Sun Devil Stadium or something?
Play it in a you could play it in a warehouse, or
that would be
in
indoor
cemetery.
football. I mean, come on.
What? There's a lot of grass.
Why
in a
can't we
cemetery.
play it at just a football field? Why does it have to be in some place like a cemetery? I mean, you have to be quiet. You can't do
Why?
anything.
You're not waking anybody up.
That's a cemetery. That's what you do when you're respectful at a cemetery.
I kind of feel like we'd be okay. But all right, still working the idea, Boogie. Come on back to us. We need refinement on this idea because
Football
evidently
field.
some people don't want anybody to play football at a cemetery. Whatever. Okay. Thunder Snow wants a traffic report, but we generally don't do that. Because here's the thing: it works in our favor if you're late getting home because you listen to us longer, which means more ratings for us for the win.
Yeah.
All right, so we are not going to do any more college bowl game anal analysis until next week.
That's unfortunate. But
We're gonna get it. No, it's not unfortunate. Unfortunate would be if I said we ain't doing it. I didn't say that. I just said we're gonna space this out a little bit. Too much of a good thing can kill you. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
So we will have more bowl, and I'm keeping track of all of his picks because then when we come back from our winter break time, then we'll get together and see how good his percentage is. I'm expecting a very high percentage of correct picks by Keon.
Yeah, as am I.
Just wondering how confident you'd be on that.
I don't know. Usually I do pretty well with the bowl picks.
Historian says, just make sure you're driving the I-17 South to I-10 East ramp. It's the highest ramp, the better chance of survival. Wait, you have a better chance of survival if you fall from a higher...
Well, you'll land on top of everybody else.
I don't think that's what he means. I would like to know the physics behind that, historian. I don't know if physics are maybe find the physicist instead of the historian for this information. Who are you going to trust? All right, so let's give due where due is due. Keon, your guy, Ovechkin, 800 goals. Capitals are your team, right?
They are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 800 goals. They beat the Blackhawks 7-3. And this guy is, this guy cracks me up. Good guy. And, he had a hat trick last night to get himself there. And so congratulations to him. He's only, 48, 49 away from Wayne Gretzky's record of career goals.
Yeah, I didn't know the exact number, but I know.
I'm sorry, 894.
But he's really damn close, and he's a scoring machine. He's been that his entire life, and it's fun to watch. I mean, every single night, you never know what he's going to do.
I know what he's going to do. He's going to play hockey.
He's going to play hockey, but he's going to score a bunch of damn goals. But you just never know how he's going to do it. I mean, he can snipe from long range. If he gets close, he's got a way of confusing goalkeepers. I mean, he's just a complete nightmare of an offensive player.
Yeah, he's 37 years old. Will he beat Wayne Gretzky's record? Will he beat Gordie Howe's?
I think he will. He hasn't showed any signs of slowing down or stopping. He still plays incredibly tough. He's one of those guys in the league. Not like Sidney Crosby, but like he's a guy that doesn't necessarily need anybody to defend him. You do not want to get into a fight with Alexander Ovechkin. Just
why would you want idea? Seems like a good guy, and then you start a fight with him, and maybe you do that just you feel like you're bleeding, like I got my ass kicked by him.
Yeah, then you realize he's Russian and huge and angry. That's just not a good combination of things.
Don't be on the wrong side of that.
I would recommend against it. But then for him to have the polish in his game that he does offensively, it's fun to watch. And as a Caps fan, every year it never felt like they couldn't go to the Stanley Cup because he was there.
All right, he's actually, I just read this, he's one goal away from beating Gordie Howe's record. And so that means that he has to go another 93 to get to Gretzky's. Raven Kidd says if he doesn't beat Gretzky's record this year, you think he comes back next year? I don't know if he's going to come back for trying to beat records. I think that he's 37, but yeah, does he look like he's 37 when he's out there? No, this guy
no,
is
no.
he's a beast, and he'll probably go more than a couple more years.
I mean, relative to how he used to play, he has slowed down a little, but it's not enough to say it's over. You know, I mean, it's not to the point where you know they shuffle
Slowed
him
down.
out
He has
there.
7 goals in his last 4 games. That's slow
For him. For the stuff that he was doing when he was younger, I mean, it was unbelievable. I think his game has evolved to be less intensive on him. You know, he's not as much weaving in and out of defenses, and more he finds his spot on the ice and really just fires it in there the moment he gets a lane at the net. That's more his game now. But yeah, he'll
be around a couple more years.
Yeah,
he'll probably get to Wayne Gretzky's record, if not close to it.
I don't see how he doesn't, barring any significant injury. I mean, he
Well,
really
of course, there's always
hasn't slowed down much at all. You know,
Raven Kid, weren't you paying attention? He says, you guys are doing anal analysis for the bowl games. What did I miss? Well, go back and listen to the podcast of the last hour, Raven Kid. We did 16 games. We're going to do all the rest of the games in the next week because we got to kind of space this out a little bit. So, you know, it's all enjoyable. I thought we did probably award-winning coverage of the first 16 games
100%
with Keon Rose. I mean, Keon had a little to do with it, but Randy and I, we absolutely delivered award-winning coverage of Bowlageddon 2022/23.
Yeah.
Historian says the stacking of wreckage underneath you will shorten the distance you'd fall, plus a modicum of cushioning, small modicum. Think dog pilot. All right, so you're right, Randy. I guess you're right, but I still want to wait till we hear from the physician, the guy who does physics.
All right.
Let's see. King Kitten says, "Hey, nobody beats Gretzky. Comprende, amigo."
Well, look, if you want to go with goals, Ovechkin could pass Gretzky in goals. No one's going to pass Gretzky in points. I mean, so in that regard, that record is untouchable as far as I'm concerned.
And all records are meant to be broken. And anytime somebody says, well, that's a record nobody's ever going to break, I always say, bullcrap. Records are meant to be broken. You hope that somebody comes along and is able to break the record because that means you just got to watch a lot of good sports, whatever the record is.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like DUIs or assault charges or, police incidences. And then that's not a good
bad records. Don't break those.
Thunder Snow says, yeah, Randy and Jeffrey killed Bowlageddon. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I knew this was going to come up. Randy, who is Correa for the Giants baseball team? 13-year deal for $300 bazillions of dollars. I'm sick. No more baseball for me, he says.
Well, he was the shortstop for the Astros when they won the 2017 World Series, became a free agent, went to the Twins for a few seasons, and now signed an enormous $350 million, $360 million, 13 years, over 13 years with the San Francisco Giants. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the San Francisco Giants are loading up. They're releasing all of the old into the world. They're jettisoning some of the old bodies into the world, and they are loading up for a World Series run. Keep your eye on it. Carlos Correa, congratulations to him. He is going to be a pain in the Diamondbacks side for many years to come.
Can I just tell you something right here, right now?
Sure.
Something I've realized just here, right now.
Yes.
Can I tell you this right here, right now?
Of course you can.
Right here, right now, right here later.
Right now.
Right here, right now.
Yeah.
Live Tour is trash.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all
I
you
don't
have to
even care
say.
about golf, but now I have compelling evidence that the Live Tour is trash.
All right.
They just announced 3 new events added in 2023 to their Live Tour trash schedule.
All right.
And they say that it's going to be the following. There will be an event in Oklahoma.
Okay.
There'll be an event in West Virginia. And there will be an event in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Trash. Well, yeah. Well, you pick Tucson. You can't be serious. And look, it's almost like they're going for the Toothless Meth Head Tour. West Virginia, Oklahoma, Arizona. That's the place that DNA cohesion forgot. I'm telling you right now, this is, just proof. The Live Tour is trash.
I mean, does Tucson not have great golf courses? Because here's the thing. I mean, there's plenty of
I've never been that
places.
far off the freeway due to the smell. So
okay, well, that's fair. That's a fair point. I just think that plenty of crappy places have great golf courses.
Greg Norman's out of control.
They play golf.
Greg Norman
then
is
they
out of
leave.
control.
Tiger was right all along.
Yeah. Just proof. What more proof do you need that the Live Tour is trash?
I think that's probably all you need there.
But Randy was born in Tucson, got the hell out lickety split. Not his fault he was born there.
Yeah. I had no control over that. Yeah.
On purpose. On purpose, I tell you. Just tells you what you need to know. Live Tour is the white trash of golf.
All right.
I have nothing to base any of this on other than that.
Other than that one fact.
Yeah, I just want to trash Tucson a little bit. That's all.
You
guys seem to be more into golf than I am. So what do you make of this? I mean, they're announcing new places to do events for the Live Tour. Are they going to become more legitimate because of this? Or is everybody going to see that just because this is funded by the Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, it's just trash? Trash.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to have to matter how the events get pulled off. What do they look like? If it looks like cheap knockoff discount golf, if it's not accessible to people watching.
Tucson.
I get that. I do. But I'm just saying, if you play golf and you film it well and make and present it well, as much as it's Tucson, it's a Tucson golf course. The golf course part tends to be, a club. It's separate from the rest of the city. People go to Tucson and play golf and then leave.
As if they won't have meth heads.
I will say
not on the golf course.
It's Tucson.
The PGA Senior Tour plays in Tucson. I think they play at the Omni, and I played that course. It's not too bad.
Because they've got golf courses in Jacksonville. I don't want to spend any more time in Jacksonville, Florida, than I would ever want to.
Well, there you go.
But they're golf courses there. You can go there, play golf, and
then Tucson.
Okay. My advice is just don't play the Live Tour. You'll be fine, Keon. Just don't play the Live Tour.
I don't think I'm in any danger of that. So
that is that's public service announcement of the Daily Blender. Don't play on the Live Tour. That's all. I mean, is there anything more we need for? Don't do meth.
PGA used to go to Tucson. I don't know if they still do. They had a Gold Canyon not Gold Canyon. It was. I don't remember what the golf course was, but it's not actually in Tucson. It's outside of Tucson.
So he's back. Boogie puffs a cigar, gazes deeply into the desert sky, and then jumps up. I got it. So we have the 1580, the Fanatic Bowl. Two teams with the most unnecessary roughness and roughing the passer piddlies, and the losers have to get the winning team's mascot tattooed on the lower back, and we hold it in front of the state capitol. Teams get an extra point for every politician that gets tackled, or we hold it in Tucson, and the losing team has to live there for the next year. Okay, there's a flurry of ideas, some good, some not good. But here's what I'd say: you don't hold it in Tucson. You still have it at the state capitol, but you make the penalty having to live there for the next year with the tattoo of the winning team
at the state
on
capitol
their lower back,
or Tucson.
No, at Tucson. So they'll have buses outside the state capitol. Play right there. There's some grass there, I think. I don't know. If it's rocks, it doesn't matter. And you play the game right there. And then as soon as the team loses, they don't even get to go to a locker room. They get put onto the bus, taken down to Tucson, and dumped off.
See, couple of
with
problems.
Bracelets on their ankles.
Yeah.
And if they step 1 foot outside of Tucson, they explode.
Couple of problems here.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
A, no locker room facilities. B, you could go out for a pass and run into the is it the anchor from the USS Arizona that's there on the lawn there at the Capitol? Is that the anchor? They have something from the USS Arizona, which is not going to move if you run into it. And C,
makes that more interesting to me.
Well,
personally.
okay. And letter 3, no facilities for fans to watch. There's no stands there.
So there's buildings you can go up and look out windows.
So there's no building. There's no high-rise buildings around the Capitol.
Like if you actually want to make money from the bowl game,
you got to have to play this at like a Sun Devil Stadium or, is Phoenix College Stadium, Glendale,
and that is
Glendale Community
close,
Stadium.
Boogie.
And
You're
that
getting
is
close.
Before we get to the legion of players who would put their names directly into the transfer portal to not have to live in Tucson.
A bunch of damn pansies.
Yeah.
You can't
Here's the
transfer
thing.
portal when you got an explosive ankle bracelet on you.
Yeah, that's the other part. Is these are amateur athletes. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, you
can't-
could, but it
watch me.
might be against the law.
You cannot explode an amateur athlete.
Once that thing is on there, it's on there. So
just. I mean, I get that.
Time sensitive. It
But you
unlocks after a year.
Okay, but like that doesn't matter because now you've basically
tell me
imprisoned
it's
them.
okay to let a bunch of terrorists run golf in Tucson, but I can't put an explosive charge on a college student's leg.
You would literally be
Is
worse.
this America
You
or
would
is
literally
this
be
America?
worse than the terrorists if you did that because they're not actively doing that in here in
It's not-
Arizona.
The kid's not going to blow up if he does what he's supposed to.
Why would he have
Who's
to?
the real monster here?
It definitely sounds
Fine.
like you.
Fine, you bunch of snowflakes. All right, Boogie, back to the drawing board.
You're gonna make somebody live in Tucson? How is that humane in any possible way?
No, you got a good point there. I thought the big sticking point was the explosives.
It's
but
a little
that
bit
right
of
there-
both. It's the
Now-
fact that my
now you've got
alternative
me.
is death or Tucson. That's like-
Explosives are fine. It's this, dear God.
both
how can we
options
make
might as
anyone-
well be death.
I think Sting would do songs about it, and we we went too far, Boogie. We can't. The explosives on the ankles, fine. We can't make anybody live in Tucson.
Yeah,
we
that's
can't
correct.
do that to people. What were we doing? Let's see here. Hefty Lefty says co-eds have been making college athletes explode for over 100 years. Thank you, Hefty.
Hey-o.
I can't understand what you've just sent me, Raven Kid, because sometimes things don't come through, so you might need to explain that. King Kenton says Fanatic Bowl should have a death pit at one end. A pit, a one end zone where the receiver dives for the ball, and if the receiver catches the ball, game's over with the win. But no matter what, the receiver falls into the death pit, though, and in the death pit, there could be alligators, molten lava, other horrible ways to die, tree branch shredders, maybe. King Kenton's, don't be a child. Listen, so much of that, if you want to have like old style football, fine. That's what we would do, King. We're trying to modernize this sort of thing.
Think outside the box, as it were.
It's just I don't know if we're pitching a potential bowl game or a Saw movie. That I just
bowl game
doesn't. It sounds more like a Saw
Keon,
movie.
have you not been paying attention?
I have been, but I'm just telling you what it sounds like.
Bowl game.
So what's going on? Something is happening. Whistling Gerbil says Keim stepping down. Is that what you were trying to send me, Raven Kid? Is there some rumor out there? Oh, Ian Rappaport says Arizona Cardinals GM Steve Keim taking indefinite health-related leave of absence from the team. Wow.
Well, I mean, I hate to hear that it's health related. I hate that. I hate that. But I am glad to hear him taking an indefinite leave of absence. Although I wish it was a resignation.
Should we just not speculate?
That would be more responsible. So,
ladies and gentlemen, let's pour one out for Steve Keim.
It's Steve Keim. You pour a few more. Yeah, you got to do that. Randy, it's Steve Keim. Come on.
Sorry.
Thank you. Keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going through the break. We got to take a break. When we come back, we have other fish to fry, and it all has to do with the NFL. Come on back, everybody. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried New Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors. It helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
So we all know that Life Changer loan clients pay off their home in well under 10 years without changing a dime of spending habit. But did you know the majority of those clients use the money again to purchase rental property? And guess what? When they do that, they actually pay off the new balance even faster than the original balance. So maybe that's why Ben Stein called this loan the greatest invention in personal finance in his lifetime. It's not magic, it's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MB1002031, NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
I've been holiday shopping at Kohl's, and I've got to admit, their deals are some of the best I've seen. I've been earning Kohl's Cash every day while saving an extra 25% on top of 50% off cute PJs and 40% off comfy slippers. Plus, I just got 30% off super soft Koolaburra by UGG bedding. With more gifts and more savings at Kohl's, the holidays just got so much cozier. Select styles. Offers end December 18th. Koolaburra by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harman Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmansolar.com.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
It's time once again for the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. First prize is $1,580 from Harman Solar. Second prize, a Zebra e-bike from Hemingway. And $500 third prize from Harman Solar. Sign up today. Go to 1580thefanatic.com. The Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. From your home for the NFL in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Blender here on Phoenix is, well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. I've got three different things going on all at the same time here. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and the news has recently broke that Steve Keim stepping away from the Arizona Cardinals from claimed medical issues. Donnie says, yeah, I'd have health issues too if I had to watch Cardinal games every week. Oh, yeah. Keep that going, right? You keep that going. Heavy Metal Maniac says, yeah, Steve Keim going to get fired. So all of a sudden he's sick, so he doesn't have to get fired. I doubt it. That might be a thing where he's going to go ahead and, they'll come up with some good story. Michael Bidwell's nice. It's like, okay, instead of firing him, he's just going to let him fake a health issue. So he steps away, gets better, but then he's like, I got to take some time off from the team, whatever, to make it look better for Keim if he tries to get in the job. The problem is everyone in the NFL, according to whoever the hell that was we were talking about the other day, an insider has told somebody that, well, the rest of the NFL sees him as a joke. He's just a fan. He's not a football mind. So I would imagine this will be Steve Keim's last job in football. Big George says, is Steve Keim stepping down for health-related issues because he's an alcoholic? If so, we shouldn't make fun of that. We have no idea. Baker's Cocky Him says, guess he's the third. First Grant Wall, then Mike Leach. Now Steve DUIs, my favorite crime. What? Boogie says, Keim has health problems. Same as health concerns as Bruce Arians? Because if so, he needs to go to Florida to get better for his own good. I'm thinking Miami. He should go there. He should go there now. Thank you, Boogie. 888-368-1580. We should probably not make jokes in case it's a serious actual thing.
That's what I was thinking. Just wild, aimless speculation.
Yeah.
And humor about a potential health situation, which we don't know. We just don't know what it is.
It's not hard to speculate because
it's pretty easy to speculate, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're right. You could be wrong.
Hold on, Jose. Betty Ford, line 1. So that's for you, Steve. What were you saying?
I'm just saying if something were to happen, say to escalate the health issue, now we've just speculated on a guy using his health to quit when actually he was sick. I just,
anything's possible.
It is, which is why we should wait for the evidence of what is possible before we just decide on our own what's going down.
Quentin Harris will take over his position, as well as VP of Pro Personnel, Adrian Wilson. Quentin Harris and Adrian Wilson will take over Steve Keim's position while he's away.
Baker's cocky hen says, why didn't Keon say this before we started speculating? I know. This is a little bit late.
It did come up.
It didn't come up
you
at all.
asked. No, you asked, should we speculate? And I I said no.
I didn't hear you. You just
I know you. It's the selective hearing. It's just very strong.
Over there. I don't know.
Just telling you, don't do that. I said it before the break. I'm saying it again.
I didn't hear anything.
I know. I've noticed.
Quentin Harris and Adrian Wilson.
Okay. So, but nothing will change.
Well, Adrian Wilson, a lot of people respect him, and he was a longtime safety for the Cardinals. And you might see some change depending on how much leverage, how much power and authority Mr. Bidwell will give these two guys, and if these two guys can work together.
That's the real question. And
what do they need to even be doing right now? It's not like you're getting ready for a playoff run, so you don't have to be working the waiver wire or nothing.
Yeah, but they're general managers, so you're always scouting. You're always looking at the draft. Or always that process has to be in full swing now. You can't just now be starting that.
You're looking at a temporary situation until if Keim is actually leaving the team permanently and Bidwell is forced to find himself a new GM. Oh, Lord, this may be preparation for the appearance of coach and GM Sean Payton.
Could be.
Potentially. But
a lot of people in the NFL respect Adrian Wilson, both as a player and as a human being. And I think he would be, I don't know this Quentin guy. I couldn't tell him apart from Adam, but.
Well, Raven Kidd gives him rave reviews, says Arizona sports fans can only hope Adrian Wilson can do similar to what James Jones did for the Suns as a former player. Yeah, but does he have that same football mind?
Well, he's got a great football mind. The bottom line is Mr. Bidwell going to give him the opportunity to do his job, or is he going to be a meddling owner?
He doesn't know any other way. And I don't think he's a bad guy. Boogie says, is it really speculating or is it academic hypothesizing? That's what I say, is academical hypothesizing.
It was nothing of the sort. But yeah, I just think when you look at what Adrian Wilson, just because you say it, what is academic about this?
I'm taking Boogie's version. He's right.
I mean, he used the word academic, but if it's not actually academic,
we have learned he drinks quite a bit, and we have learned he had a DUI, and we have learned that he has left the team for health reasons. It's academical hypothesizing.
And there's no length given. It's an indefinite leave of absence.
Prince once sang indefinite, and that's a very long time. I remember that. That's in the song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy.
I will say about Adrian Wilson that he's been an executive since 2015. He started off as a regional scout, and then he worked his way up in the organization. And I think that does speak well to the fact that they trust the guy, and they trust his football knowledge, and they trust his ability to see talent and to identify it. And so, yeah, I do think that does speak well of him.
Kiss the Cook says Keim was recently diagnosed with torn ACL syndrome.
Classic.
Heavy Metal Maniac says maybe Steve Keim has decided he needs to go to AA. There's a lot of AA texts here.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just pass on those. Hefty Lefty says it's bowling season. Maybe he lends his giant dome for local lanes for team night. What? I don't understand what you're saying there, Hefty. Your text sort of fell apart, or maybe I did. 888-368-1580. All right, fine. Keon's upset with us. We should not speculate.
I'm not upset. I'm just saying,
about
we don't have to look completely crass.
Now, are you academically speculating?
He's which part?
Keon being angry.
No, I can see it. I can see it right there in his face.
I'm not angry at all.
Hey,
I'm trying to protect us.
He's scolding
from looking terrible. If something goes sideways with the man's health, okay, and it gets worse or whatever, as we don't,
if
don't
he dies, then we'll
have made jokes about it. Yeah. So let's
we
not
erase the podcast.
Let's just not do it in the first place. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to cover our asses here. That's all.
We just erased the podcast. That's all.
There's a bunch of people who heard us.
Let's go ahead and hit the profanity.
They'll
delay,
forget. These people have a short attention span. Come on,
man. Not that short, but all right.
You're not helping. Now people are writing it down in case they forget.
People don't meticulously keep track of the stuff we say in the first place.
I don't think meticulous, but it is weird when we've been doing events and somebody comes up and says something to me that I said 3.5 years ago, and I'm like, what? That is weird. Yeah,
that'll happen.
I don't have to worry about Steve Keim because if he were to die, then he won't do that. If he lives, he'll probably have more important things to do.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Steve Keim specifically. Just
and I personally didn't make any jokes. That is not me. People know me as I'm not a guy who's making jokes like that.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That is the Jeffrey O'Brien brand.
There. I'm reading an awful lot of them, but I don't tell. I'm just. I'm a little offended right now by you, Keon.
Wow.
I'm just trying to protect us.
Keon, now look what you've done.
I'm trying to cover our asses, and how have I offended you? I have no idea. But
me either. But I am offended. Donnie says, I think what Keon is saying is, don't stoop to my level.
I couldn't have said it better,
Donnie.
Wow, that's a very jarring statement for Randy and I.
Also,
don't stoop to Donnie's level.
I respect this, Donnie. The height of self-awareness right now is. I appreciate that.
Fish Tank says, I mean, has there been a show where we didn't make fun of Keim's drinking habits? There is a history. There's quite a history.
There's a history there, but
based on factual things.
But is it something we came up with? No.
Of course not. But there's a difference between.
Did we come up with this health issue? No.
No.
Therefore, I don't think that there's any way we could be held, responsible in this situation.
I mean, you can.
Now the historian is offended that I'm offended. You see what you have done, Keon.
What I have done.
You're upsetting people.
The length and breadth of your actions. Have you seen how this has affected far and wide?
Think of the children.
These you are not a child, and neither is who? Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Spit it out, Keon.
The Jet says, come on, guys, you're getting my hopes up. They might actually fire Cliff and hire Sean Payton.
Wait a minute. Nobody said anything about Cliff. No,
he might have some skinny jeans injuries upcoming.
Nobody said anything about Cliff.
Cliff's not going anywhere, man. If we're just honest at the moment, he's not going anywhere.
By the way, can we somebody get a word out? Remember we talked about this. Don't give other teams bulletin board material. Don't give other teams a reason to get hyped up to beat you.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like Vance Joseph calling out Matt Patricia and the Patriots, saying that their offensive approach is like a defensive guy calling offense. And it probably wasn't meant to be that mean, but it did sort of explain how he sees things, and also give them an opportunity to say, oh, so that's how he's going to defend us, and what can we do that is a little bit different? And it turned out that it didn't need to do much, but I just don't like when people do things and get the bulletin board material. And of course, Matt Patricia, after beating the Cardinals, said, no, we're good. I've known Vance a long time. He's a competitive guy and all that. No, Vance is great. No, we're all good. Everything's good. And I realized Matt Patricia is kind of a doormat. I mean, his name is Matt. He lets Mac Jones talk to him. Like, I wouldn't let nobody talk to me like Mac Jones. I think he's got like abused coach syndrome or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
He puts up with an awful lot. If Mac Jones is chibber jabbering and yelling and swearing at him like he's doing, and then Vance Joseph calls him out and he's like, no, we're fine. We're fine. I'm worried now about Matt Patricia.
I wouldn't be. I mean, Matt Patricia's just a guy, not a whole lot gets to him. That's just really who he is as a person. He just that's one reason why I think when the Lions hired him as a head coach, there's like a million reasons why I thought they shouldn't have hired him. But one reason why I thought he actually would be a decent head coach was not a whole lot gets to that guy. I mean, if you say something insulting to him, water off his back. He does not care. It's on to the next thing, on to the next play, on to the next game. And that's why I think a lot of his defenses have been so great, because you get a locker room full of fiery defensive guys. And when Belichick, drafts guys, he's getting type A people. And Matt Patricia's just been able to weather those storms and just let the things that are important stand out. I don't think that, I don't think he's a doormat. I just think that he doesn't see those things as things that should bother him. So they don't.
The Jet says, I don't like Keon anymore. Way to ruin my dream. Yeah, he was really hoping that this would be
the Jet.
Yeah.
Well, what dream did I ruin?
I don't know, but it hurts.
Yeah, for the Cardinals to get better by subtraction, I guess is the best way
to
put it.
You can still hope that happens. I'm just
Kiss
saying.
The Cook says, Keon, stop trying to be a diaper. You know what happens to the diaper.
What does that even mean?
I'll be honest, I'm not really even sure on this one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% familiar with both what it means to be a diaper.
No, you don't want to be a diaper.
Or what happens to it.
I don't.
You know what happens to it.
I don't know what happens.
I mean, I know what happens to actual diapers, but
it's crapped in.
Well, it depends. I mean, if it's a cloth diaper, it's rinsed off and washed. If it's
it still
disposable one, yeah, and then it gets thrown away.
Mm-hmm. So who does cloth diapers anymore?
There's probably some Amish people or something
or
that do that.
And why the hell does Matt Patricia have a number 2 lead pencil behind his ear?
I've never understood that.
Which diaper is he wearing? Is he wearing the cloth or the disposable?
I think he's wearing those ones that what's his name? The guy that passed away, old Caruso. What was his name? He was a defensive guy for the Ravens for years, and he was a sideline reporter. What was his name? He wore
diapers.
He was hyping those man diapers.
I don't remember that.
Are you talking about Saragusa?
Yeah, Saragusa. Yeah, he was hyping those man diapers.
You know, if I had man diapers, we could do a 4-hour show.
Probably.
But I would insist on an intern changing me.
No one should have to do that.
Well, I guess we're not going to do a 4-hour show then. Another way to kill the dream, Keon. Go ahead and kill the dream.
It depends. Man diapers.
Keon,
there it is right there.
Dream killer.
I'm simply bringing you reality.
You are the dream killer.
If that kills your dreams,
there's your new nickname.
If reality, it's not a bad nickname. If reality kills your dreams, that's not my fault.
That's your fantasy football name for next year. The Dream Killer. That's actually pretty good.
No, I'm gonna have to write that down.
That's
a whole package.
Yeah,
a whole package of 26 man diapers for $20.05 on the Amazon. There you go.
Holy crap, those are cheap. Compared to baby diapers. Drop on the Soap says Matt Patricia probably got his lunch money taken when he was in school. Yeah, I know. I feel bad for him now. Licky Lips Johnson, he says, okay, here it is. Oh, I don't even talk about the Suns right now.
You can get them in black. Man diapers, you can get them in black. There you go.
He sent me a thing that says Phoenix Suns haven't been the same since Kanye West exposed CP3. That didn't happen, but that is funny. Baker's Cocky Hen says Keon's like the guy who tells kids, I can't even read what you said there because then I'll say it out loud and I refuse to say that out loud. Don't worry about it.
What did you write? What?
Multiple sizes, guys. Small,
I will
medium.
tell you off air.
Large, extra large, extra large.
Are you trying to fat shame me?
Got the medium.
Why can't you just tell me how much larges cost? But
you got the. Well, you got the.
I'm extra large.
No, I didn't see they had multiple mediums. That'd be you.
You know what we need to do? We need to have a man diaper party.
Absolutely.
We go to a bar. Everybody's wearing man diapers.
Yep.
And we all have to keep drinking, whether it's soda or water or lemonade or whiskey, whatever it is. And the first person that goes to the bathroom loses. And the last person that has to actually, because you've got your man diaper on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whoever can take it the longest without having to get that thing off wins.
Well, then I'm buying a box of these Night Defense.
Would it take a day? I don't know.
Night Defense right there. That's it. Oh, those are for overnight right there. That'll take a lot of abuse.
Really good ideas today.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Silly Wabbit says, come on, Keon, man up. Help Jeffrey make his 4-hour show. Well, I'm not asking Keon to change.
Oh yeah,
the
no.
number.
I'm just simply concerned about whatever poor
We would
intern.
need an unpaid intern for this.
Wow, unpaid.
If you met Radio Ron, we ain't paying any interns.
If you're out there and you want to
If
get a
they're
start
changing
in
your
the
man
radio
diaper,
career.
I think that paid might actually have to be on the table.
I'll make eye contact the entire time.
No human being should have to do that. That's just a fact.
And then I'm going to whisper, "Hey, you missed a spot."
Oh,
Well, it's a perfect. See our sponsor, Dude Wipes, and then we'll get the man diapers.
Yeah,
I got
there
a
you
whole
go.
case of
That's
Dude Wipes
thinking
in my
like a
office.
radio guy. Why
See
can't
that?
you think more like Randy? You get your sponsors together. Yeah.
I mean,
Come on,
I understand
Keon.
the sponsors, but I think that you could just save money.
The Jet says, "Wait, what? You pay Keon?" I know, right? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Sun Devil men's basketball is better in person. Suit up in your best maroon and gold and catch the Sun Devils at Desert Financial Arena on December 18th against San Diego for the annual Teddy Bear Toss. Or join us on New Year's Eve when ASU hosts Arizona. The Sun Devils will then open the new year when they face Washington State January 5th and Washington on Sunday, January 8th. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I just happened to notice Adam Schefter in his post. There was an odd thing towards the end talking about Steve Keim leaving the team on a health-related leave of absence, and at the very end it says, out of respect for privacy, which is required by law, the team will refrain from commenting further. Doesn't that seem like a weird thing to say there at the end? Can't you just say, out of respect for privacy, we will not be commenting? Why was it they had the name, like, which is required by law?
Well, it's that hippopotamus thing that you sign when you go into your doctor's office. That's that privacy thing.
Yeah, the HIPPO Act. So here's what it is: when you talk with your doctor, not allowed to tell anybody anything, or you get stampeded by a hippo. It's called the Hippocratic Oath, and they have to take an oath, and they're part of the Oath Keepers.
Huh? Learned a new thing.
I don't think that's part of it.
But I stick with us. We'll get you there.
No, the Hippocratic Oath. That's different. That's what the doctors take to be good doctors. Otherwise, they get
the Hippocratic Oath.
The Hippocratic Oath. That's what they take to be doctors.
To do no harm.
The hippopotamus law. The hippopotamus. If they share any details about your medical
that's
condition,
you get stampeded by hippo.
Stampeded. Yeah.
All right. That's it's an easy mistake to make, Keon. Don't worry.
I do
hippo. HIPAA,
right?
Yeah,
both ways
could happen to anybody. But I do think
it's not a hippo filter; it's a HEPA filter.
You're
gonna live in the valley. You're gonna want some clean air. I'm just saying.
That's a very good point as well. Taking notes right now as we speak.
What were we talking about before Keon interrupted us?
I was going to say that Adam Schefter in particular has been a person who has put information out there that maybe he should not have.
Well, he didn't type that. This is a graphic that he picked up somewhere and printed. So this is from the Cardinals, not Adam Schefter. Just saying. So isn't it weird though that the Cardinals felt like they had to say that last part out of respect for privacy, which is required by law. Well, the team will refrain from commenting further. I'm just saying we're not going to make jokes. Keon, we don't want him to get mad at us, go to flash anger. No more.
Not angry at all. So
but so out of respect for Keon's anger, which is required by law, the show will refrain from joking further.
But I'm not mad. I'm trying.
Seems like you're mad to me.
No, I just don't want us to get in trouble.
So mad his shirt turned red.
My shirt has been red the entire time.
I don't think so.
It has been. It's all good.
Pretty sure it was a white shirt when you came in.
It was not. It was red.
Jeffrey,
we'll have to rewind. Let's see. Navy Brad says, is the NFL violating the HIPAA Act when they reveal a player's injury? Well, I think part of the whole way that works is they've given permission for those specific things as long as they're football related or impactful. So they say, they're ill. That's what they say when they're sick. They don't have to. For a minute there, they had to tell you about COVID because of how things were going during a pandemic. But if they have the squirts, if they have the flu, if they have any different variation of regular sickness, all they have to say is, it's an illness. They don't have to tell you that. And, they'll just say vague reasons. But if the player doesn't care, then they tell you. Everybody knows everything. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's something that the players' union has basically agreed to, that we all are aware that this is a business, and so decisions get made based on the health of athletes, whether sports betting or anything like that. So obviously that information is out there, but like Jeffrey said, any illness that doesn't have to be told to us or anybody at all.
So Jeffrey, what was the first one you mentioned about the players being ill? What was the first one?
The squirts. Nurse Scratchit. I don't know how all of a sudden I got a bunch of texts from her that just got flurried in. I'm sorry, I did not see these earlier, but she says, first things first, man card violation for the first one that has to go in the diaper. No, how's it a man card violation?
That's why
we're doing it as a contest. Yeah. Second, if you buy drinks for the other two and bet on the next one to lose. Well, that's not all. That's actually just a good idea. It's not a man card violation at all.
Yeah.
She says, by the way, the HIPAA law, you can be fined $1,500 for every violation. $1,500 doesn't sound like a whole lot at all.
Well, maybe for you, but.
Well, not even for the NFL team. But she also says person has to sign a release for information. And I think that's the players, part of what they do, like we said, the relevant information to how it will impact a football game. That's part of being in the NFL. You sign stuff.
Yeah, if Steve Keim was on the field again, pretending that he could play football, and he got hurt, the team would report that. But because it was not, and it's a personal thing,
right?
They're not going to comment on that because it's against the law.
I remember before the season when Antonio Hamilton got burned. Before we didn't know what it was because
it took forever, and I was like curious. I wanted to know.
Yeah, the team didn't put that out, and he wasn't saying. And when he said later, then we knew what the situation was. But because of the HIPAA violation, potentially they did not put that information out there.
By the way, didn't you get a deep fryer? Did you get a deep fryer? Is that what you got at the holiday party?
I thought it was an air fryer.
No, it doesn't just deep fry. It's also you can make like stew in there. You can boil stuff.
Don't drop a chicken in there, okay? Just or a turkey or any of that. So whatever that guy did to burn his damn leg off, just use it as a crock pot. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I will try not to burn myself or my apartment down with my deep fryer. Yeah.
You live your best life. My advice is don't use.
I thought it was an air
grease.
fryer. I didn't know it's a deep fryer.
There was an air fryer, but I did not get the air fryer.
You should watch the videos on deep fryer disasters.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
Hard to tell with all the stuff you took home from the party yesterday.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I think you cleaned up. I think you got more than anybody else. And poor Izzy's sitting there with his massager.
He's got the massager and
I felt so bad for him.
Gun club passes, which I know. I don't even know if Izzy likes to shoot guns.
Poor guy.
I have no idea.
There's
always
always
enjoy that at all.
There's always somebody who cleans up, and there's always somebody who just goes home like, well, I guess I got something to give somebody else. That's fine. Big George says, do we have to tell you when we have the squirts? Full disclosure for the fellow texters. I, for one, do have the squirts right now after having jalapeno poppers from Jack in the Box.
That's why you don't eat at the Jack in the Box.
No, I don't need to know that from the texters. You don't need to know what happened to me last night before I left the station.
It's true.
You don't need to.
Kean and I just drove away, and we just waved at him as he stood there.
Go on, save yourselves.
I was leaving last night, and I was like, "Are you coming?" And Jeffrey was like, "Nope, I'm gonna have to ride this one out."
Gotta ride out the storm.
To be fair on this, it was not any of the food served at the holiday party. It was, I believe, I'm not going to say what it was, but it was something I may have had the night before. And it was not my wife's cooking. It was somebody else's, and I should have known better. Let's see here. Kiss the Cook says a hypocritic oath is for congressmen and senators. Oh, yeah. Well, we should take that too. Dropping the Soap says, I'm done with Keon too. He's off my Christmas card list. Him and Harry Soap.
Damn.
Wow. That's deeply unfortunate.
Silly Wabbit says, Jeffrey, did you tell Keon about the hypocritical oath that they have to take at the blender before working there? I know this is kind of news to me, Silly Wabbit.
Yeah, news to me as well. So
King Kitten says, no matter what, the jokes are coming. Okay. Adrian Wilson was the heat-seeking missile, and he still has the wheels, by the way. On a touchdown play for the Cardinals, he beat players to the end zone. No. Google external yeast infection.
What?
What the hell is the last part?
You want us to Google external yeast? What?
Don't. I think you're saying don't Google.
You didn't have to tell us that one.
Something to do with
that yeast infection.
It's very confusing. Navy Brad says, would anyone ever take the Satan's Toe Candy Challenge, rated at 9 million Scoville units?
No.
No. Listen, I proved my manliness with some jalapeno eating contests, like when I was 21. I sat there and I just ate a bunch of jalapenos, and I just put the rest of I was hanging out with the ASU wrestling team, and I just put all of them under the table with eating all the. I just ate them. I hated it because I like jalapenos in food, but I don't like it just seems like sometimes it's just silliness. And but I did it to win it, and I did it, and then done. You know what I'm saying? I love green chilies. I love hot stuff. I love all that stuff. But there is a point when you start talking millions of Scoville ratings that it kind of transcends flavoring, and now it's just stupid. You know, heat for heat's sake is not tasty. Is there anybody that thinks that's just tasty?
No.
No.
Again, like you said, is flavoring, some spiciness in a dish that already tastes good. Perfect.
You have to sign a waiver to have one of these suicide hot wing things, they called it. I signed the waiver. I did it. I didn't enjoy it, but I did it. And now I'm done. Simple as that. So why are you asking us about that, Navy Brad? I don't think anybody on the show is interested in 9 million Scoville units.
No.
If you think it's tasty out there, hats off, power to you. But that just seems unnecessary.
Even if you liked it on the way in, you're not going to like it on the way out.
King Kitten says Clippers super fan was one punch knocked out by a security guard Monday night in L.A. Keon, do we know who the Texas Longhorns coach punched in his home there?
Yeah,
how do you connect those two things?
I don't know how those two things are connected, but they think it was his wife.
Fecal Mist says, Jeffrey, I advise you not to take your phone to the bathroom while you have the squirts. Just saying, fecal mist will be abundant. I always leave phone in pocket. I'm not a use the phone in the bathroom guy. I don't want no poo-poo germs on my phone. Can we get back to NFL when we come back? Let's do that.
So. Yeah.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Sun Devil men's basketball is better in person. Suit up in your best maroon and gold and catch the Sun Devils at Desert Financial Arena on December 18th against San Diego for the annual Teddy Bear Toss. Or join us on New Year's Eve when ASU hosts Arizona. The Sun Devils will then open the new year when they face Washington State January 5th and Washington on Sunday, January 8th. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. And we are broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Let me just warn you right here, right now, Keon, stay off Twitter. You probably don't want to go on Twitter. There's a lot of those jokes on the Twitter. It's bad. It is really bad.
I mean, that's up to those folks. I'm just saying.
I want to just avoid Twitter for a while.
If we do it, that could fall on us. If people do it on Twitter, then it's not.
a single joke. All I have did, I read the news thing and then I read text. That I did not. So just saying, pretty sure I didn't. Fairly sure I didn't make any. I am about 75% sure I didn't.
I don't think you made any jokes, but
Good. Okay, now I'm like 85%.
There was some speculation.
90% sure. Oh,
which
okay,
we don't know anything.
yeah.
So just
And even worse, then I see one of my Twitter followers here retweeting this guy. Hey, Randy, what do you call them green egg looking smoker things or grills? What are those
The
called?
big green egg.
Oh, so
oh,
it's got a big green egg, and he's like, I just threw a 4 kilogram octopus. Is smoke it low and slow. That's got to smell so damn bad. That should be enough to get the homeowners association to burn your house down. Can you imagine living next to somebody who is slow cooking octopus? Have you ever smoked or slow cooked an octopus, Randy?
No. I don't eat things that suck me.
Well, that just would seem rude. But this would smell horrific, so bad. So I'm turning off Twitter too.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I stay away from the I stay away from the sea creatures when it comes to
well, not salmon. You'd smoke some salmon.
Well, that's not a sea creature. That's a fish. But I stay away from the sea creature.
Where do you think the salmon comes from?
Not from an octopus.
It's a sea creature. It's a fish.
It's a fish. I stay away from the
both
sea
the
creatures.
ocean and the rivers.
I would not eat the kraken. I would not eat octopus. I would not eat like whale. I would not eat those sea creatures. Those crazy looking sea creature. I would not eat those. Like they call like some fish, they've got those eyes that are way up here and they got thorns all over them. See, to me, that's a sea creature. That's not.
That's just nasty.
That's not a fish. I don't care how you work fish into it. It's not a fish.
The Jet says, Jeffrey, you're a top-notch newscaster. You don't make the news. You just read the news.
That's right.
I'm not a newscaster. Harry Soap says, Kime. Okay. Kiss the Cook says, 82 jalapenos. Fire in the hole. Navy Brad says, I had a coworker say they could handle the 9 million Scoville units, and they made it about 10 seconds and then just lost it. Oh, yeah. I don't ever want to be sitting there puking on a table because I thought I could handle a hot, something or other. No, thank you. Mr. Pringle says, hey, how about that epic choke job by the Lakers last night? Lakers suck. Hey, right now, I don't feel as good about piling on another NBA team when the Phoenix Suns have lost 5 brutal games in a row. Now, the next game they have to try to get right is versus the Clippers. That is tomorrow night. Is that on the? It's on NBA TV. Oh, well, and I was hoping it was on the TNT, but we have to now address this. There is something really wrong with the Phoenix Suns. Now we're at a point where with the Houston Rockets beat you. Now you have to stop everything, take a deep look at what the hell is going on with the Phoenix Suns. They started out great, and then all of a sudden is bad. And I don't like it because then old Donnie gets to troll all of Arizona and all of our great sports teams in that moment, in mocking us because now we've lost 5 in a row. Keon, what is wrong with the Suns?
I come back to it again and again. The defense does not seem to be there. And I think that's where it's got to start. And that's something that Monty stresses. So I don't even want to put it on him because defense to a certain level comes down to effort. I don't know how much I can ding Chris Paul for it either, just because he's 37. But you got to defend somebody. I'm looking at what the Rockets did, and I was watching that game last night, and I was very disturbed. But Jalen Green, good basketball player, good young talent, but he goes for 26. Porter gets 18. Jabari Smith, 14. Eric Gordon, 10. And then Alperen Şengün, 10. Their entire starting lineup was in double figures. Nobody defended anybody. And that you cannot have that. And when they lost to the Celtics, that was what I ended up tweeting, is it looks like a layup line out there. So when they fall off on the defensive end, it's not it's not for a quarter. It's not for a stretch. they fall all the way off, and it just feels like the game is over. At no point in that game did the Phoenix Suns have a lead, ever.
So DeAndre Ayton and Cameron Payne got injured. What are the nature of their injuries? Is it anything serious that we have to? It seems like all the stars on this team are getting pretty well banged up, and you're getting nothing out of it. Houston Rockets came into this game with 8 wins. They got 9 now, and now we've got a busted ass team here. Well, so what is going on?
Ayton rolled his left ankle shortly before the halftime, and then Cam Payne injured his right foot, and both did not return to the floor. So we'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen anything today about it. Booker, though, today did return to practice, so that's a positive note.
People want to make jokes that, ever since Kanye West accused Chris Paul of cheating with old Kim, whatever, which is all BBS. But here's the thing. There has been a connection that since Chris Paul came back, they have been losing. Is he mucking up the chemistry? Is this...
a little, but I don't think it's something that can't be adjusted for, but it is a combination of he plays at a slower pace than they were playing when he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And then also he's not the defender he used to be. And it's pretty obvious. And you're going up against Jalen Green, who is a young upcoming player. He's athletic. He's twitchy. Reminds me a lot of Ja Morant in terms of the athleticism. It's not a good matchup for Chris Paul or Cam Payne, for that matter. I mean, that's just how fast and athletic Jalen Green is. So I think when you put Chris Paul out there and he has to defend the other team's point guard nightly, at some point it does start to stack up against him because he can't stay in front of the guys the way he used to.
Baker's Cocky Hen says the real issue is the Suns are built for the regular season, and this will only be worse in the playoffs. I said to bet them under 2.5 seed when they were still hot. Suns haven't done well adjusting with injuries and lineup changes since the finals, it feels like. Yeah.
I mean, part of it is the injury thing, with Booker in and out of the lineup, which it's a hamstring. Like I have the feeling this is just going to be the way it is, because hamstring injury, it either gets better, it doesn't get better. There's not really a whole lot that you can do there. So I just think that you're going to have games you've got to win without Devin Booker, and they haven't been able to do that. But I wouldn't say this team's built for the regular season, not built for the playoffs, so much as what they had in the past isn't the same as what it used to be. Chris Paul's that much older. Jay Crowder's not there. And say what you want about him shooting threes and abusing the side of the rim, he was a good defender, and he's got a big frame, and you could use him to beat up guys like Jason Tatum and challenge Luka. And he would have definitely been a body out there that could have helped you against Zion to some degree. I don't think anybody was stopping him those nights, but I think that you could slow him down. And when you're missing a guy that can give you that defensively, as good as Mikal Bridges is, he is a perimeter defender. Having to guard these big wings, he's not big enough to do it, and they just go right through him. And I think that all of this stuff, the injuries, the aging, the disgruntled players, I think it's all starting to catch up to the team right now, to where you have an injured Ayton and an injured Cam Payne. You're thin on bodies.
King Kitten says Kanye exposed CP3. Again,
Kanye hasn't strung together any sentence that could be considered rational
lithium
in about 3-4 months. Not one sentence.
Baker's Cocky Hens says, doesn't CP3 not wear out his welcome everywhere he's been after about this long?
Well, what is the problem? I don't understand. Why is everybody blaming CP3? I mean, the guy was injured. He came back. He's a little rusty. We lost Booker. The team is not complete. We don't have Jay Crowder. We don't have the same team that we had in the playoffs last year. I think everybody in Phoenix should just take a deep breath and relax. This is the regular season. This is not the playoffs.
But I will say,
Mr. Pringle has a very good question to that. Why exactly are the Suns paying Crowder millions of dollars not to play? Did he go full Ime on somebody's wife or something?
No, he requested a trade. And when you have a guy that's in the locker room that doesn't want to be there, it's better to just put that dude off to the side and shelve him. Because if you bring him in there and try and get something out of him, he's going to be complaining to all the other guys. People like that can disrupt a locker room completely, absolutely derail you. I mean, that's the reason why you see it happen on other teams too. It's like when somebody is going to be on the move and they're going to move him sometime before the trade deadline.
Yeah, this is not like an NFL team where there's 40 or 50 guys in the locker room. There's 12 guys in the locker room. That's it. And you get one bad apple in there, it could disrupt your entire locker room in a hurry, like a wildfire.
That's a good point. Kyle G makes another good point. He says 2 years ago, you go to the finals. Last year, you're the best team in the league. Suns are one of those teams in the league that everyone just really wants to beat. And it seems like the Suns haven't had that click mentality for them.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. And I've said this in the past too. Once you get good, everybody's gunning and that you're on everybody else's calendar, even if they're not on yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're coming for you hardcore.
And you've got to retool. Like when you do something like go to a finals and you don't win, you've got to start figuring out what you can add to your team, because no single team is going to be the same from year to year. The Suns team's not identical to the team that went to the finals. There are some differences there, and you've got to be able to retool, replace those guys and readjust. And I don't know that they've necessarily done that yet, but that doesn't mean that they won't, doesn't mean that something won't be addressed via trade or via signing. To that point, I just think that the Suns right now are in a space where I think they need to retool. And I think Jay Crowder's a big piece that they could probably move and get somebody else who can come in and help.
See, I was reading about the Jay Crowder thing. Sorry, Jeffrey. But I think this is also being hampered for the fact that the Suns are kind of in limbo in ownership, right? So what's his face? Because he's got the team up for sale. I think it has something to do with that they can't make a big move with this Jay Crowder thing. I can't remember where it was. SB Nation maybe, or on the Twitterverse through one of the NBA sites. I can't remember. I'll try to find that. But there's a reason why this is being hampered. It has something to do with the sale of the team.
Big George says, I've been screaming from the mountaintops there's glaring issues with the Phoenix Suns team, and you all laughed at me. Well, yeah, because you start screaming fire people, and this is bad. The sky is falling after one loss. After a couple of losses, we were like, yeah, we're okay. We're not worried yet. Then another loss, we even said, okay, now we're starting to get a little concerned. Today, now we're concerned.
And I'm concerned, and I still don't think, and the reason why I disagreed with Big George is I think that there are problems. They're not glaring. They're not. This is not a team on fire that doesn't know how to win, that can't get it together or whatever. Like losing streaks happen, and that's what this team is going through right now. And part of it is injuries and health. If you have Devin Booker, I don't think you lose 5 games in a row, but you didn't have him. You played a bunch of tough teams, and the weakness that I saw is that these larger wing players don't have anybody on this team to stop them without Jay Crowder out there. That's a big problem. And anytime you run into a Luka or a Tatum or somebody like that, Kevin Durant probably qualifies as well, you're going to struggle defensively. And I think that is an issue. But it's not like that the team is on fire, blow it up, fire everybody, which is what you said, Big George.
Yeah, and that's what we were laughing at. The Wiz says, we were missing 7 contributors last night. Another good point.
Yeah.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, from what I've seen, feels the players and Paul just aren't the same as they used to be, relationship-wise.
I don't think that's the case at all. Like the last texter said, most of our team is hobbled. I mean, Chris Paul's not 100%. Campaign is not 100%. Jay Crowder is not 100%. I mean, the team is kind of dinged up right now. And if you add Ayton to that mix as being somewhat dinged up, I think it's going to be a problem for this team to be overwhelming to anybody. And I found that article. It was the Bleacher Report. Eric Pincus of the Bleacher Report says the Suns may not be able to commit to anything long term until a new owner is in place, and that it may only be an issue if the Suns have to give up a first round compensation to make the trade work.
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I mean, now you're looking at a squad that should be killing it, though. You know, you should be having to think about giving up any first.
If they were healthy, but you should think about having to give up the first, because you've got to find somebody to replace Jay Crowder and what he gives you defensively. They haven't done that, and it shows that there are people going right to the basket against this team. And if you're not scoring the way that you score when you normally have, for instance, Devin Booker out there, then that's going to be a massive problem. Last night they shot, what was it, 32% from three or something like that. Like they were not good shooting the basketball in the way that they normally were. You combine that with the defense, it's not a combination for success.
Yeah, it wasn't good that the guy who was supposed to step up for you when the other guys are down, it was 4 and 14 or something like that. Mikal Bridges didn't exactly set the world on fire. Blissful Hayes says, good afternoon, Jeffrey, Randy, Keon, fourth dimension. Okay, so here's where he comes to troll, but I'm going to go ahead and answer this question. Who's the more pathetic franchise? Arizona Diamondbacks, Arizona Cardinals, or the Phoenix Suns? All are complete dumpster fires. Okay, pump the brakes. The Suns are not a dumpster fire. The Cardinals, it's a bit rough. The Diamondbacks, I would say, are the most pathetic franchise. If we're going to answer the question in that direction, I'm not thinking any of them are pathetic.
Yeah.
Just
like, come on.
some bad people in all of them.
The problem with you texting into this particular show is that this show has a Washington sports fan. I've been front row to some of the great dumpster fires in sports history. So no, Cardinals, not good, not a dumpster fire. Suns, 5-game losing streak, and they're still above 500. Playoffs every year for the last handful of years. That's not a dumpster fire, man. I'm sorry.
Kiss the Cook says char grilled octopus with chorizo and baby potatoes. Yeah, it's all you, buddy. You go ahead and have seconds, because I ain't going near it. Big George says he never said to fire anybody. We're just so used to you saying fire everybody, so we just assume.
But you did say that there were like glaring, massive issues, and they're issues. But they're normal issues that'll happen over the course of
the team
an 82-game season. Yeah, injuries happen in an 82-game season. Guys are going to want out of the team in an 82-game season. Like none of the issues that Big George mentioned are these massive, glaring issues that I have to panic that the sky's falling.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, if any team's a dumpster fire in Arizona, it's going to be the Coyotes. They've done nothing since they've been here. Yeah, but they're on the way back. We got a good GM in there. They're doing some things that need to be done. I can't call them a dumpster fire.
It's a sellout for almost every game. Yeah.
Well.
Hook'em Hottie says, you guys don't even know dumpster fire. I'm a Texas Rangers fan. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, and the Rangers are turning their fortunes around. To answer that texters, not to even give credence to what he said about the Arizona sports franchises. First of all, I was here when there was no Arizona franchise other than the Phoenix Suns. We didn't have any baseball. We didn't have any football. We didn't have nothing. And the Arizona State Sun Devils were part of the WAC. Okay. There was just nothing. We played in like the salad bowl in college football. When we got the team here, only in 4 years, we won a world championship. Since then, the demise of the Diamondbacks has gone down the tubes because of change of ownership and their lack of wanting to put together a championship caliber team, because they probably don't have the money to do that. They can't put out, $350 million for 13 years like the Giants did. So, I mean, you can't just come in here and just start calling, franchises garbage. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but the Cardinals have been pretty good the last few years. Yeah, we've had some playoff misfortune the last couple of seasons, but it wasn't too long ago we were in the damn Super Bowl. So you might want to do some research before you come in and text the show and start saying how terrible all the franchises are in Arizona.
Yeah, Randy's been here since before sports were invented. He knows a thing or two.
That's right. That's right.
I've had to watch the Atlanta Hawks when they were like real bad, like unwatchable basketball. No star on the team at all. Just 5 role players passing the ball to each other. I mean,
it's all a bunch of Laker fans just coming in here, just trying to get a little warm by this fire. When they got that epic meltdown that they had themselves. Hey, we came back. Oh, we fell down. Oh my God. So shut up, Laker fans. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, the Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Bowl season underway Friday with the Bahamas Bowl kicking things off. Miami of Ohio, an 11-point underdog against UAB. That'll be followed by Texas San Antonio playing as a 2-point underdog against Troy in the Cure Bowl. College football playoff on New Year's Eve. Number 2 Michigan -7.5 against third-ranked TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. And fourth-ranked Ohio State +6.5 against top-ranked Georgia in the Peach Bowl. Argentina has reached the World Cup final. They await the winner of France and Morocco this afternoon. The French, the -190 moneyline favorite. Morocco +600 with a draw at +280. The over-under at 2.5 goals. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears radio show, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am here today to make the statement that just because we're in a bear market does not mean that you have to be losing money. Just like Michael Burry and Warren Buffett, bear markets should be where real generational wealth is created. But most will follow the same broken strategy that lost them in the last bear market. We are inviting you to come to an intensive 3-day trading and investing class where we will show you the trading and investing strategies of the market wizards. This class is typically $299, but right now, for 66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-87-2337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class, or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I'm just saying, Randy, the reason why you never see Kyler Murray with a girl is because, dating a short guy is all cool and everything until you're walking down the street and he gets snatched up by like a bird of prey or something. That's got to be very traumatic for anybody that has to date Kyler Murray. Always have to be watching the skies. Got to be watching the skies.
That's true. That's true.
Just saying. Oh, are we on?
We are, and doesn't
hi.
Kyler have a girlfriend?
Oh, does he? But
yeah.
She must be very attentive.
Because I remember there was a whole thing where he was getting his hair braided by somebody, and then the girlfriend was like, "No, her shorts are too short. You got to tell her to do something about that."
Right.
And then Kyler did, and she got mad.
Well, you know what? I want to change direction here because a lot of people are heading into their fantasy football championships, your playoffs, your championships. That's what's happening here with all the Daily Blender fantasy football leagues and stuff. And I just want to give you a big old injury report. We can rattle through this pretty fast. I'm not too worried about this taking a whole lot of time, but I think this could be very useful information to a lot of people. So can we do the injury report now, or is there something else we needed to do?
No, I think we could do it now.
No, I think that's what's next on the agenda.
Right. Cardinal Art says, hey, tell him, Randy, coming from a person who was here for Phoenix Firebird days as well as Phoenix Roadrunner hockey, I totally agree. Pour one up for yourself, man.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, we were there too. We had a lot of fun with the Roadrunners. See my jersey right there. Harley's Hammer says, if I remember correctly, Chuck leads the league in goals and penalty minutes at least one of those years. Last Optimist says, month ago, brother-in-law was telling me he thought Adrian Wilson might be able to do for the Cards what John Lynch has done for the Niners in improving the roster. Here's hoping he was correct. This also might just be a very temporary thing with Keim too, guys. So who knows? Who knows? We can talk about those sorts of speculations later. Right now, the injury report. All right. So now Deshaun Watson isn't injured, but I've been hoping. And I feel like I'm getting closer to that becoming a reality because Marlon Humphrey is saying he wants to give Deshaun Watson a not so soft welcome to the Ravens-Browns rivalry. Oh, boy. I can't wait. So there's no injury yet.
We're just waiting for Calais Campbell to fall on his leg or something.
Got a little something to look forward to.
Yeah.
That's all. Marcus Mariota, I don't know what the hell is going on in Atlanta, but what a mess that is. One moment, we're benching him. The next moment, he's not around. The next moment, it seems like we don't know where he's at. The next moment, boom, there's a baby. The next moment, he's going to be gone now because he's having a knee injury. The Falcons are a mess. Whatever they were trying to do or trying to keep a wrap on, it has just imploded. But the end of the joke here is Marcus Mariota having knee surgery. He's on injured reserve. If you were desperate enough, keep on moving because he is now gone. Here's another injury. I don't know if you guys know this. Rondale Moore had a groin injury, so he is doubtful, but also the mascot.
Big Red?
Big Red was doing flips during the introductions, and then next thing you know, he's limping off the field. Yeah, he got an ankle injury. And so,
oh boy.
Who knows if he'll be ready for the next one.
I mean, we've got to get this taken care of. Big Red out. He's a national treasure.
Yeah, and so I don't know. You guys have 3 out of 4 away games now, right? So he only needs to be ready for the one, right? So whatever that game is, hopefully Big Red will be good to go there. Justin Fields missed practice, they said, with an illness. So hopefully that's the kind of thing he can get over and be ready to play because, boy, are they going to need him this week. Kyle Shanahan is saying that Deebo Samuel, he could be back in 3-ish weeks. That's what he's saying. So probably too late for a lot of your fantasy football needs, but I'm sure the 49ers would be happy to see him back. Also, Jerry Rice was saying, he was not happy. He says, hey, please stop running our skill players up the middle. Trey Lance, then Jimmy Garoppolo, and now Deebo. It's a pretty good point.
But Jimmy just got sacked.
Yeah, and Deebo, well, he's a multi-use player. You weren't supposed to see him in that role as much. Because of, Christian McCaffrey. Deebo was supposed to be used more as a receiver after his appearance. So whatever the case, Jerry Rice is taking heat for giving heat. People are not happy with him.
I think I see Jerry's point because Jerry's thinking about himself. And if he were a receiver, I'm not going up the middle, but that's not the way that Jerry Rice is built. Deebo Samuel is built like a running back. He just happens to be a wide receiver. And so you do use him up the middle because it means that that's a place that the defense also has to account for Deebo being. And he's gone up the middle a lot of times without getting hurt. And you're playing the game of football. Like that does happen. And
he never minded.
The Trey Lance thing, I guess as well, but I think it's a similar thing with Trey Lance. Like you get a guy with that level of mobility. That's what you got him for. And Trey's not tiny.
When Patrick Mahomes' kneecap came off and shuffled down to his socks, you may have had a point there because he did go up the middle when that happened. So Tyler Boyd, they're saying will probably miss a couple of weeks because he has a dislocated finger now. That's gonna hit some people there. So the Bengals will be without him for a couple of games. Tom Brady was looking a little bit gimpy in the hand. He's kind of downplaying that hand injury. Of course, he always does. He lies about his injuries all the time. Played a whole season with a torn MCL, whatever. Well, now he's got something going on with the hand, and that is something to look forward to. And thinking I'm not going to play him. I'm playing Jared Goff. I'm on the Goff train right now. But Tom Brady's hand, if you don't have somewhere else to go, it could be trouble for you. Also, he got choked by that Niners linebacker. We've all seen the picture and stuff, and I still can't believe there wasn't a flag on that. All the easy flags that he gets for somebody just walking near him and giving him a dirty look, you get a flag. And then that one, the guy's actually got his hand on his throat like that.
And all of a sudden the refs don't see it. Yeah.
They're like, I've been wanting to do that for years. Let's see. And by the way, Todd Bowles, are you out your mind? He says Buccaneers did not consider pulling Tom Brady out during that blowout. You should have considered it, but Tom was never going to come out of that game. Tom Brady is the kind of player who will never come out of the game unless he is actually legitimately hurt. And maybe that's why they didn't consider it. But if I'm the coach, I'm considering it. I'm over there saying, please, Tom, please just let's just get out of here. Let's just get out of here. Let's preserve. And he probably cursed me out and be upset about it. But you have to at least consider it. You have to try to save him from himself. He's 58 years old. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do something.
58. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson still didn't practice. Tyler Huntley is limited. I don't know what the hell is going to become of the Ravens if neither of those two play, but I'm pretty sure one of the two will. Tyler Huntley. This is not looking good for the Ravens. Not looking good.
It's not. They still keep finding ways to win, but I just think Cleveland's going to be tough. They put up a lot of points. They run the ball incredibly well. And so I just think that's going to be tough unless Deshaun Watson goes out there and gives the game away, which he's perfectly capable of doing at this particular point in his comeback. And the Ravens are perfectly capable of taking advantage of that, but it's not going to come from the offense.
So Jayon Brown on the Raiders, he is now on the IR after his hand injury. That's kind of sad to hear. Mike Boone also on injured reserve for the Broncos. The running back Mike Boone, his season is over. Probably going to be sometime right before game time before we know exactly if Brock Purdy can play. Some of that stuff was on his oblique. It was downplayed a little bit. Now it sounded maybe it's a little more serious or gamesmanship. So fantastic. I don't know that a lot of people are getting ready to start Brock Purdy in fantasy, are they? I guess if you're desperate.
I'm desperate. Hi, everyone. I started him last week because I had no choice. And Justin Fields and his damn illness. I got Justin. What choice do I have?
You're not in the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I got the consolation bracket thing.
Yeah, you just no. In the Premier League, you still got to play in the consolation bracket. It could mean the difference between being in the Premier League or being out of it. And it's the same thing with some of those other leagues too.
But that doesn't start until the week after. So I don't play anybody this week. It's a bye week.
You have a bye week?
That's okay.
Consolation?
After this
everybody
week,
does.
After this week,
everybody does.
Oh, stop it, Randy. You're probably going to win the damn thing. For the Steelers, Chris Wormley has a torn ACL. That's the latest on that. Dubes is back. Monday Night Football. You can see Romeo Dubes or Dobbs, whatever you call him. He'll be back out there on the field with Christian Watson. Boy, Aaron Rodgers needs all the help he can get if he's even going to be out there. Sean McVay says, hey, stop asking. You will not see Cooper Kupp again this year. That's it. He's not going to save your season. He's not going to be on the field again. Cooper Kupp will not play again this year, no matter what. Trayvon Walker is day-to-day with an ankle injury, according to the Jaguars. And then finally, the last part of the injury report, Dallas Goedert. They're opening the practice window for him there, Keon, because I know you've got him. Even though you hate the Eagles, you love some Dallas Goedert points, don't you?
I do. I got Devontae Smith, too. when he was healthy, that was part of the engine driving my team.
Yeah. So that's what I've got right now outside of the stuff that everybody already knows about. So remember, tonight is waiver wire night. So good luck. I'm not saying nothing.
Do what you got to do.
Can I tell you something, though? A strategy that I was thinking. The Moist One is who I'm playing in the playoffs. And right now, he is no defense. He has no kicker, which means he's dropped his defense and kicker trying to get the best one. I am this close to going in there, dropping a couple of players on the low end and picking up the best defense and the best. I don't know if I've got a higher waiver position than him. If I do, I just might do it to break his heart. Is that dirty pool or is that good fantasy football playing?
That's good fantasy football playing. It's in the game. It's a thing that you are physically allowed to do. It doesn't involve anybody else. It's not cheating.
Oh, damn it. I can't. He's 6 on the waiver. I'm 8. Oh, well.
But that might mean that he won't get both things he's looking for. He might get either the kicker or the defense if you put in a waiver request.
So the question is, do I go for the defense or the kicker? Which one's more likely to give him more points? I might have to do a little research tonight. And with that, we're probably going to have to take a break right about now. Let's see here. Navy Brad says, I enjoyed Roadrunner games. I took a puck to the lower jaw there. I did get an ice pack out of it. Well, that was nice. For the Roadrunners, and as cheap as those bastards were when we were working with them, you're lucky they didn't ask for that ice pack back or charge you for it.
Yep.
Fish Tank says, the NFC South is so bad, the Falcons could still win that division. That would be hilarious. King of Kitten says, Big Red brews a drumstick. Hey, Cardinals, how about some chicken for dinner? All right. They're not eating Big Red. Would you eat Big Red?
You shouldn't. He's a beloved icon.
National damn treasure.
If you put him on the smoker for the day.
No, it's cardinal. No.
Sure.
It's a sacred bird. A bird of
now
prey.
There's a sacred. Yeah, all right. Thundar the Sound Barbarian says, I don't want to hear about your game last week, Keon. I already know about your game last week. Berg, we've already talked about that, and probably we shouldn't, but thanks for that. All right, let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big George's sports history and other assorted thing. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation, 800-805-9967. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-805-9967. That's 800-805-9967. Again, 800-805-9967.
Sun Devil men's basketball is better in person. Suit up in your best maroon and gold and catch the Sun Devils at Desert Financial Arena on December 18th against San Diego for the annual Teddy Bear Toss. Or join us on New Year's Eve when ASU hosts Arizona. The Sun Devils will then open the new year when they face Washington State January 5th and Washington on Sunday, January 8th. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We look forward to Week 15 in the NFL. Playoff chase is in full effect. We'll keep you updated around the league. College bowl games are starting, and we look into who we expect to win and make our picks. The World Cup is wrapping up. Who will play Argentina in the finals? Major League Baseball news, college basketball, and the Coyotes. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
If you hit, pass it, dunk it, shoot it, check it, throw it, putt it, or block it, then we're gonna talk about it. I like that! I just thought I'd clear that up. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Oh boy, here's Boogie again. Boogie walks in out of breath, stumbling. Okay, all right, how about this? 1580 The Fanatic Bowl, okay? We pick the two teams with the most penalties, right? We hold the game at Phoenix College. We only use half-blind refs, also known as Pac-12 refs. Entire losing team has to play for the Houston Texans for 2023. And we also get Masturbate and Tackle as a co-sponsor. Huh? Oh, I like this. Okay, what are the problems with this one here? I like this idea. It would help.
Who is the sponsor of this again?
Yeah, Masturbate and Tackle. Isn't that? No, I see their shops. Anyway, so here's my problem with this. I'm in that division with the Texans. I don't want the Colts to have to play against a better team than the Texans are now. And you know what I'm saying? So not really liking that. You guys have any other issues?
But I believe the plan is to put the two most penalized teams together. I think at worst you just have the same Texans.
All right, well then I'll allow it as long as they don't get better. I don't want the Texans to get better. I need the Texans to be the Texans.
Yeah, they'll still be the Texans.
Even though I'm pretty sure the Texans beat us like the first game of the year, didn't they?
They tied you.
I think they tied you. Yeah.
That's like being beaten, I guess. Baker's Cocky Hen says, you guys see the guy who parlayed a 26 bet with France as World Cup champs as long as the NBA, NCAA, and other soccer championships there. He's in line to win $557,000 if France wins. So go Argentina.
Oh, wow.
No, that's a pretty amazing right there. Who was it was telling me? It might have been Radio Ron or that's right. Radio Ron was telling me he's like, yeah, I had this parlay, right? And Kyler Murray just had to get a couple of touchdowns or a couple of passes or something like that. Something it was completely reasonable that Kyler Murray would do. He's just like, and then that happened. So you're lucky to have a holiday party this year, to be honest. All right. Well, parlays are a dangerous place to be. It's all I can say. That's a whole lot of stuff that has to go on. It's amazing, and you're a golden god if you hit a parlay. If you don't, that can hurt when it's that one thing.
Yeah, it can. And
I only need Kyler Murray to get 5 rushing yards because you put together those super easy parlays, and then ow, and that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it does happen.
Sorry for everybody who was hurt by Kyler Murray's carelessness. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1986, Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins set an NFL record with the 7th 400-yard game of his career as he passed for 403 yards and 5 touchdowns in a 37-31 overtime victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Marino hit Mark Duper with a 20-yard touchdown pass in overtime to win the game. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Mark Duper.
Old Mark Duper.
Wow.
Super duper. That's right. So there you go. I figured you had some comments on this game since you You were there for it, Randy.
I
were
was not
there.
I was not actually there. No,
You were watching it.
I was watching it. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Were you watching it online or was it?
No, we didn't
televised?
have online then. Yeah.
I remember when cable first became a thing. And you'd plug a cable.
Yeah, it was a cable box. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people figured out how to, make them themselves.
Well, you had the cable box, and then you had these filters that they would put on if you had the HBO or the Showtime or the Playboy channel or whatever. You had these filters you had to plug in.
A lot of kids in high school learned how to work electronics very quickly to get the Playboy channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember those little things. And then the real cable companies came along after that. And then, the rest is history. But yeah, I remember sitting there with the Atari. Hey, Mike Burke's got an on TV box at his house.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over there and watch squiggly lined sort of photo negative porn.
Yeah.
Because they had that channel where it was the squiggly line photo negative porn. And it would move off the screen. And every now and then it would pause a little bit. You could kind of see something. Oh, we sat around that TV for way longer than we should have. And we were young, so we didn't realize it was weird that there only should have been one of us there. But okay. Randy's chuckle says, I remember when the TV remote was invented. And that was, hey, me, son, get your ass over there and change the channel 5. Yeah, that really got a lot of us off the hook when the remote was invented.
Absolutely. I was so glad when my dad finally got a TV with a remote.
Fish Tank, the Miami Dolphins fan, says Super Duper and the Marx Brothers. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Case the Cook says here it was Dimension TV. Do you remember that, Randy? Dimension.
Oh,
TV?
yeah, Dimension. Yeah, Dimension Cable. Yeah, I worked for them for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I used to hang cable out in Apache Junction.
You handed out cable?
No, I hung cable. It was called hanging because you had to go out. They didn't have the boxes in the yard. You had to go out and you had to get on the telephone poles. And you had to connect to the cable box there on the telephone poles, run it down the telephone line, and then over to the house. That's the way.
That sounds like amazingly fun stuff to do in the summer.
Absolutely, yeah. And then when you would get out in Apache Junction, one of those trailers, you got to go underneath the trailer.
Oh my God!
Ran into a cup more than one snake. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I quit.
I would have.
As they're explaining it, and I got to go under, and I'd be like, "Where are you going? Why are you walking off?" Nope. I actually did that once. I think I was, I don't know, I was like 17 or something, and I got a job, and I was like, "Wow, this is a very good paying job," and it was driving a street sweeper.
Oh, wow.
And I had a guy with the air blower pack, and he would jump off, and we'd go through mall parking lots. And so that first night, I'm driving around doing this, and the guy's like yelling at me through the window. Okay, now here's what you do. You do it like this and that. And I was just kind of like, all right, this is a pretty good paying job. I mean, why wouldn't somebody else want to do this? And then I was like, oh, I got to blow my nose. Oh my God, everything that came out was black.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I think I'm going to die if I do this job another day. So I quit. Boy, that guy was mad at me. He never even paid me for that night.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, that was a nope moment for me. Would have been crawling under a trailer in Apache Junction. How about you, Keon? You have any nope jobs?
I mean,
this one?
No, not at all. No,
you mean aside from this one here?
No, the job that I quit just unceremoniously.
Day one?
No, nowhere near as bad as either of those jobs. But it was in a call center. Telemarketing. Yeah, and so
smoke-filled call center.
I realized that I'm going to be calling people during dinner to sell them credit cards and all this other stuff, and the verbal abuse.
People love to be called during dinner.
I'm sure that they're thrilled about it, but I'm just some person, I don't even dial the phone. It auto dials. Like the moment the conversation ends, it dials the next person. So I didn't have any control, but people would just rip into me. And after a week, I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't get paid enough for this at all. That's fine. I'll just go work at a World Market. I'll be okay.
I think Booger Wolf might have set a reminder on his phone, because here he is out of nowhere, says, when Randy goes horseback riding, he has to toss his bags over his shoulder so the horse doesn't trample over his nuts. Go Niners.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's an insult.
No. That's why they call me Grandioso Sucio.
Grandioso Sucio. Lost Toby says, just finished playing True North. Gorgeous course. It was a charity event, and I donated a ton of balls out there to the desert.
I bet you did.
See, this is the time to go do the golfing. This is the time in this weather.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. In this weather, you can't afford it. In the bad weather, you can afford it, but then you'll die. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm ever going to golf. Last Optimist says, brother asked to get off selling CC insurance, so they put him on calls telling people their money ran out for hospice. Okay, that's a rough job right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's another nope right there. That's horrible. By the way, what's CC insurance? I don't know what CC insurance is. Licky Lips Johnson says, had to be a Suns fan also. Who? What? Huh? Berg says, how many times you get hung up on, Keon? Did you change your voice or accent or anything like that?
Well, there wasn't any point in changing it because it wasn't calling the same people back. Like when it called somebody else, it was the next day. Somebody else might have the list with those people. So I'd have to change my voice. But how many times did I get hung up on? More often than I didn't. Way more often.
How long
than I
did you do that job?
A week.
You did
That's
about
a long time.
4 days too much longer than I would have.
Yep.
You were like, I'm going to do the week to get the check, right?
Exactly.
Did you get the check?
I did get the check.
Good man. Good man. I just walked off. I'm like, my health is more important. You don't blow that into a Kleenex and stick around the next day.
No, you don't.
And when I quit, I showed the guy. Does this happen to everybody? I ain't doing this. The guy swore at me so bad as I walked off. I'm like, I don't even care.
I got the paycheck and then I never showed up again. It just I maybe I invented quiet quitting. I don't know. I was not. I didn't put in a notice.
Quitting.
I was just like, nope, that's enough for me. I'm out of here.
I guess I was so stunned by what I saw in the Kleenex that there was no quiet quitting on me. I was like, oh my God.
No, you have to do that loudly.
Berg says, I had fun with that in college. What are you talking about? Telemarketing? So he would sit there and just use my Berg, by the way, is an astounding salesman in the real world. So I'm sure he could take and make telemarketing work for him. Hey, do we have time? Should we spin the wheel of sports? See what we talk about next?
We got a little time.
All right. Randy's already on it. Remember earlier when I said, don't give the other team bulletin board material?
Yes, you did.
Well, here comes Tom Brady. Tom Brady doing a little passive aggressive dig on the Bengals. You just got your ass handed to you how badly by the 49ers. Now you're going to the defense and offense of the Bengals. And this is a team that could very well be in the Super Bowl. And somebody says, hey, what's going on? Oh, we're on the Cincinnati. Great team. Great young quarterback. Fairly tough defense. Good skill players. You say, what? Fairly tough defense? Fairly tough? You don't think that's going to catch the ears up of the Bengals defense? You got Sam Hubbard there and Trey Hendrickson. Well, he'll miss the game. But still, you got Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson. You got DJ Reader. You got here. They're 11th in the NFL in scoring. They're 6th in red zone efficiency. Are you out of your mind, Tom Brady? You're giving them bulletin board material there. And then, of course, the defense, they didn't allow a second half touchdown until the week 8.
Yeah, they've got an incredible secondary.
What happened with the Chiefs? That was not an easy.
Listen, tough.
They only gave up 10 points to the Browns. I'm saying the defense for the Bengals is legit, and now you've just pissed them off, Tom Brady. Probably not the smartest thing you could do.
No, I'm wondering if we're just in that stage of Tom Brady's life where he no longer cares, because it just seems like younger Tom Brady would not have done this. He would compliment them, make them feel good about themselves, and then just rip them to pieces on Sunday. That was old Tom Brady or young Tom Brady. Now old Tom Brady just doesn't really seem to give a crap very much.
You need to give a crap when you're talking about people who could put you into the ground.
Yeah. Or you might throw many interceptions too. It's not like, Von Bell and Jesse Bates III are slouches in that secondary. Those are good defenders, man. Eli Apple's having an incredible run these last couple of seasons. I don't know what he's thinking either.
Yeah, it was a bad idea to say that out loud. Fairly tough defense. Hitting the Nuts says, I did one day of selling the Arizona Republic, well after everything was already online. I wanted to dive head first into that printing press. So you were trying to sell actual papers. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Linky Lips Johnson says, Booger Wolf sounds like a 45-year-old baby. That guy needs many years of therapy. I think, Linky Lips Johnson, I think you and Booger Wolf are the same person. That is my conspiracy theory right there. Because when Booger Lips shows up, so does Licky Lips Johnson. Sometimes they start chattering at each other before I've even read any of their texts. I'm calling you out. I think you're the same person. We'll find out if I'm right, maybe even tomorrow. See you guys. Have a great night. We'll see you at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Remember, your local pharmacy may be a convenient place to get your family's vaccines and boosters. While you're there, talk to your pharmacist about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine.